Hey, blah. Why doesn't this give me a live? Let me see. Uh, what is that noise? It's like there's something trapped in the window behind me or something, like a bug buzzing. Hit the like button. You come in here and say hello. You can do that. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. We're all friends here. Scared you. Oh, when I popped in, Nia. What's up, Trizzy? What's up, Jarion? Rocky, yeah, what up? This might be long. See, I'm only doing this because I'm lazy. Because I wanted to do this in a video, but I thought about how much like footage I would have to capture. I mean, you don't have to show every game visually as you're going over your collection, but for me, I like some people don't care, but I'm sitting here like, man, I need to do some visuals. I need to put some visuals in here and not just huh. But I figure I can get away with that if I'm live because there's no way I can show you visuals of the game. See, cheap. All right, give me 1 second. I gotta go see what this noise is. It's gonna bother me. 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I think it's some kind of uh, bug. Sometimes they get trapped. Not really trapped, but they're like in the window and they're just slapping your window and going all around, buzzing. Some kind of beetle or something. I don't know. I just tapped my window. I don't hear him right now, so hopefully he doesn't come back. That N64 shirt though, yeah, you like it? Yeah, I've had it a little while. Had it a few times. Really dig the Japanese words on it. Um, had it a while, a couple of years probably, but I don't wear it that much, so um, it's in decent shape. But yeah, me and my N64. Love my N64 though. Yeah, yeah. So this is mostly gonna be like just showing my Switch collection and talking about the games that I have. Like it says 80 plus. I can't believe I have that many, but um, there's also some EA stuff. I mean, if you see me on Twitter, I tweeted about it. EA being forced to put some games on the Switch because their investors have had enough, and it's just like, what are you guys doing? Not supporting the most popular gaming platform out there. You have no justification besides your bunk, and I do mean bunk research numbers because it's fake. They just have to have something to tell their people to say, we're still mad at Nintendo because they wouldn't let us do what we wanted to do for their internet online for the Switch or a Wii U. We're still mad about that unprecedented partnership that never happened. So that was a good chance. I actually do want to do a video about that. Nintendo's like failed partnerships. Obviously, that's probably the most famous one, but Sony was pretty big too. But also around that deal was it Philips, the CDI? So you can throw that in there too. It should be an interesting video, I guess. And I also want to do. Uh, Nia gave me the idea to do a parody about how these news tubers, mostly news tubers, are afraid to say coronavirus or COVID-19 in their videos because they're worried about being demonetized. So I kind of want to do a video about that. I'll probably do that tonight. Maybe it'll be ready for tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, let's go ahead and get it started. There's enough folks in here. There's enough peoples in here. All right, so before I get into software, I want to just show some of my hardware, quote unquote hardware, for the Switch. We'll start with accessories such as this. You guys know what that is. That is the charging dock, or not charging dock, but charging grip for the Switch. It's funny because when I first got this, I didn't use it as much as I thought I would. But I used, in the beginning, at least the first couple of years or so, it's hilarious. For the first couple of years or so, I used my Joy-Con grip, even though I had something else I'm going to show. And you guys have seen it before, but I use the grip that comes with the Switch. But this is the charging grip. I can't even find my regular grip anymore. But I use this a lot. I use this with specifically what was it? Fast Racing Neo on Switch, the Switch version. I can't play that game with another controller. It just doesn't feel right. For me to be able to slide to get to the buttons quick enough to do what I want to do, like change your color so you can get the boosts and whatnot. So there are games that I straight up cannot play. And I actually choose this to play like Tetris 99. I haven't played it in a while, but Tetris 99 because this thing, which is another accessory, all people don't even remember this being an accessory because it doesn't come with it, but pretty much everybody has a Pro controller. A little dusty. Actually, this is not the Splatoon one. I just bought grips for the colors and whatnot. So there's an issue with There's an issue with the D-pad on here where it sometimes registers up when you're hitting left and right, and when you're playing Tetris, especially Tetris 99, that will mess you up completely. So not a great D-pad. Not terrible, but it definitely has some register issues with the directions. So, but I don't use this a whole lot. There's certain games, Rocket League, I play with this. Some of the newer ports and whatnot, like Witcher 3, I use this because I'm used to using the Xbox One controller to play Witcher 3. So stuff like that. Yeah, I go with the traditional controller. But Breath of the Wild, I played 240 hours or so of it with split Joy-Con. So, split Joy-Con just with the little strap things. I forgot what they're called, the sliding straps. This is how I play Breath of the Wild because I like to be able to aim with my, Joy-Con. But eventually, let's see, the Switch since launch and just bought a Pro controller for the first time. Am I saying that loud enough? I had a Switch since launch, and just bought a Pro controller for the first time in February of this year, says Trizzy. Yeah, like, even though I have a Pro controller, I barely use it. I probably use it now. I use it a little bit more, like I said, with the certain ports and whatnot. So I probably use it 40% of the time now. Um, so yeah, bad latency. Yeah, I play Tetris 99 with the Pro unless I'm chilling. I'm just chilling. Um, yeah, maybe you just don't have the issue. I think it's the earlier. Again, I think this is the basically the first model because I bought this like within a week. This is the first model of the Pro controller. I think later models, once they got to, I want to say what is it called? Once they got to um, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 version, maybe even Splatoon 2, maybe not. But the Xenoblade Chronicles for sure, that was a different version, and I think the D-pad on that is a lot better. Video gamer split Joy Cons doesn't feel as good as Wii Remote and Nunchuck. No, certainly doesn't. But it's the closest thing, so that's how I did it. Same thing with one of my other games you'll see later, Mario Odyssey, split Joy-Con the whole time. I think I got like 50 hours in that. I want to go back and just run through that again. Um, but yeah, so and the reason I do that is because you feel the HD rumble a lot better with the Joy Cons than you feel in the Pro controller. There's a lot more feel to it. So yeah, bad latency. Can't play it with the Pro unless. Oh, can't play it with the Pro unless I'm chilling. Oh, okay. Now that makes a lot more sense. All right, gotcha. That junk is expensive. I'm going back, Nia. What were you speaking of when you said that's expensive? Let's see. I need those grips. Yeah. They're very cheap. I mean, you can find them on eBay. I think that's where I got them from eBay, Nia. I think they were like $6, $7. Yeah, they're real cheap and they're easy. They're like, you know, 2 screws, and I believe these screws are regular Phillips screws, so it's not the weird what do they call those things? You know what I'm talking about, the tri slice ones or whatever they're called. Yeah, it's a real easy slide on and off. So, but yeah, so now while I have these out, I also went and got, because I wanted better grip, I went and got these. I'm sure you guys may have recognized these. I think these came out with arms, and they have a battery compartment for extra battery. I never use that, like but it does add weight when you put batteries in there. But I don't use it. I never used it, but it's an option. But this is like, to me, the best. I'm gonna pop something here if I don't do this right. Is it that first? Yeah. So this is the best option for me when it comes to split Joy-Con. So you slide that on in there, very easy. And unlike my Switch, it doesn't just slide right back out. It actually grips it. But where's the other one? Oh, there. So this just gives you a lot more grip. And where Nia was talking about, this doesn't feel like, or this isn't as good as Pro Controller or Wii Remote and Nunchuck. This is really close to Wii Remote and Nunchuck. It obviously don't have the same length, so you don't get that feel. But as far as like grip and feel on it, yeah, these are pretty good. I don't know how much they cost now. I think I paid $20 for them. But things like this will probably go up in price because they didn't sell that well, and Nintendo didn't really market them that all that much. So if you want to get them, I would say get them now. But you can even put a couple of dead batteries in there just to add more weight, because I think it's pretty good. I think this is very close to the Wii Remote and Nunchuck as far as weight, for sure. And it's a lot better grip now. This feels more Wii Remote and Nunchuck grip. So I wanted to get up to this because I didn't start off with these, but this is the way I play split now. So yeah, so let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, Tetris 99. Yeah, read that. Can't play with it. Yeah, read that. The charging Joy-Con holder. Oh, that's what you were saying was expensive, Nia. Is it? Um, I mean, it was quote unquote expensive when it came out. I think it was $30. So that's not not cheap for what it does. It's not that big a deal. Especially if you don't use your grip, it's like pointless. But like I said, I use my grip a lot, and so it made sense for me. But it may not make sense for everybody. And there's other charging options out there now, especially even third-party ones, if you want to charge off the dock. But that was a concern for me because at the time my kids didn't have a Switch yet. I was the only one that had one, but I bought extra Joy Cons and I didn't want there to be an issue with the charging when it comes to extra Joy Cons that weren't sitting on the dock all the time. So that was one of the reasons I got it. Mackenzie Peters, hey Mizzah Tee, I saw your video for the Sega Saturn. My favorite game is Night Warrior or Darkstalkers Revenge. Love that game. I need to do a video on that. I tried your favorites, Knights. It's pretty good, but what a strange game. Yeah, and like it's hard probably to go into Knights today, but at the time it was it made a lot more sense. It was one of those, what do you call them? Sonic Team games. It was because they couldn't bring Sonic at the time. They didn't know how to bring him into 3D, and they still don't know how to bring Sonic into 3D if you ask me. But it's a definitely strange game, but it has a lot of Sonic in it, where it's basically you're racing against the clock to do as much as you can, and you get a ranking at the end of the level. It takes some getting used to if you're just getting into it for sure, but love that game. I didn't even know those existed. Oh, you're talking about these right here? These I forgot what they called them. These I call them arms grips. These came out with arms, and you didn't even know they existed. So that just shows my point about Nintendo really not marketing these all that much. And it's cool because they have the little extended thing that you get on your you get with your regular Switch. So it has that extension as well. So if you want to play, like a standalone controller, this is also still better than your regular setup. This gives you more width, and it feels more like a controller that way. So that's cool. But yeah, I like these for split, and this is the only way I'll play split now. I won't use just the flat Joy Cons because they're too flat. Again, it works for what they're trying to do as far as form factor with the Switch. Like it still works really well. I still like the versatility of the Switch, but the comfort isn't going to be the same for everybody. So this is an option for me. So that's that. All right, and now a couple more accessories. This is my quick hitter case. Used to be. I don't use it as much as for that anymore. This is mostly for the games I don't play as much anymore. And you can see I got tape on it because it's cheap and the thing broke after not even that long. But you flip it open, and then you have, there's 6 holders on the front, 6 holders on the back. It comes with 2. So there's 24 total. 6 on the front, 6 on the back. And you have that. And that's a quick access instead of having to go to your Switch game case and pop in and pop out everything. Like the games they're going to be in your rotation, this is a nice thing to have. It's compact, very easy to keep up with. Again, kind of cheap. This one is anyway because I had to put tape on it because the hinge broke. But so there's that. And where are they? But these are the cases I use mostly for my Switch. These it's hard because my camera's flopped, so it's I go this way. I'm thinking I'm going the other way. But so these are my video game collection cases. This one, the color one, is my go-to games. Is the ones I play in regular rotation. So if we pop it open, there's my games right there. Can't see me now. So I'm going to cover my face. This is hard to do. All right, so I'll just do that. All right, so there you go. It holds. Do I even remember? 30 games? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28. And I actually cut because they put little slits in here for SD cards, and who has extra SD cards? That's not a convenient thing to be swapping your SD cards for your Switch. You get a big SD card and you leave it in your Switch. That's how it works. But they, instead of just giving you extra space for extra games, they put these little slits for SD cards. But I don't use that, so I just kind of cut out my own square so I can fit more games in there. And so that's what I did. I probably, well, at least one game now, but I'll probably cut this too, so I can get total 30 games in here. So yeah, and it obviously has the Switch kind of look, the Switch kind of form factor look to it. So yeah, that's that one, and put that back there. And then we have this one here, same thing, just the gray one. And this is for the games I play less of, but I'll go to again. I'll go back and forth to. So same thing. All right. That's pretty much it. Oh no, there's a pretty big accessory here. Let me get to that. Get these things out of the way. All right. So you guys know, I got the what do you call it? The Split Pad Pro. I did a video on it, and it's if I can get them out here. It's these bad boys. And when I was starting to have like Joy-Con drift, I really started making use of these, and realized not only because of my Joy-Con drift, but these are the way to play in portable mode, if you ask me. So I did a video on that. If you want to see more about it, you want to see my full review on it, go check out that video. But you put these bad boys in, and obviously it makes your Switch super big. I don't know why I got to that. All right. So, does that to your Switch, makes it wide as hell. But it's way more comfortable than what Nintendo does with the Joy-Cons. And this is like having your Pro controller split in half and, put on the sides of your Switch. It just feels a lot more. Yeah, this is the only way I play in portable mode, because it's super comfortable, and you have extra buttons you can map, and you have turbo, which is really good, comes in handy. And you can assign them on the front there. So this is great. This is how you play in portable mode, the only way. So yeah, it's very comfortably. It's very comfortable, although it looks bulky. It does look bulky, but it's super comfortable. I can play for hours and hours like this. And this will go into your dock with no problem. This will slide down in your dock. Obviously, you need more room if you don't have a lot of room or whatever. But this slides right down in your dock. You don't have to take them off, and you can keep them on all the time. And so, really cool. Really cool to have. I really love these. But the problem with these is I don't have a traditional case with me. All right, hold on 1 second. I mean, literally like 5 seconds. I'm gonna grab my case. Hold on 1 second. I'm back. All right, so the issue is that here's a traditional Switch case. When you put these on, problem is, ready? This is not going in there like that. Not going in. It's too big, too bulky. All right? That's the problem with this. But there's a solution. Just give me 1 second here. Just want to make sure this is still rolling. Okay, it is. All right. There's a solution to this. Now, you can't leave these on with my solution, but you still will be able to take this with you on the go. And it's these cases. I don't know the names of them. They're generic as hell. But it's a really good case. As you can see, it's much more thicker, top to bottom, than this case. And this is for a flat Switch. This was designed so you can carry either your Pro controller with you, or your actually, and not just or your Pro controller and your charging adapter, your power adapter, the brick. This will take those two, as well as your Switch down here, and your full size. Like if you want to have the Joy Cons with it, you can still do that. You can put them in this pocket here. Let me show you. I need 4 hands to do this. So you take them off, and you slide them in this pocket, like so. Obviously, you can't bring a Pro controller and a power adapter with you when you do that, but they'll go in there. And then, obviously, these flaps, these here, so you can put games in. If you haven't seen one of these before, and this comes with double the amount of games you can carry, but you won't need that many. And then you put your Switch down here, close it, strap it in, and your Switch. I keep screwing this up. Switch is in there, and you can close it, zip it up. That little strap's getting in the way. Boom. And now you can take your Split Pad Pro controller with you on the go with no problems. So the regular case won't work. This case was, I think I bought this case for $17, and it's a sturdy case. And you can see it has little notches in the bottom here for the edges of your Pro controller. You know, if you put your Pro controller down here, the top can go that way. Not the top, but the bottom part where the grips come out and whatnot. So this is great for that. So there you go. All right, and last accessory. These accessories need no introduction. I'm just gonna toss these back there when I'm done with them. Are amiibos. Obviously, these came out with Breath of the Wild. I only have 2 of the champions. She's sliding. Urbosa and Mifa. So, you know what those are and what they do. Toss them back there. And failed accessories for the Starlink game are of these ships. I have all ships except one, but I don't care to have the other one. The one I don't have because it's not that great. I mean, it looks a lot like one of the other ships I have, so it's like, what's the point? I don't really care about the character. But this is cool. This is actually the grip for Xbox One because I bought the Xbox One version of the game, and I didn't need the accessories, or I didn't need these because all these work for your Xbox One as well. Just slide them in the Xbox One grip for that. So there goes that. Obviously, this is the Switch grip, and love this. I love these ships, Star Fox especially. Very cool. And that's the Switch grip. You slide your Joy-Cons down in there, and you play like this. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. This is the way I prefer to play. This is the way the designers who built the game want you to play, and so that's how I prefer to play, and it's fun for me. You can manually take off your weapons, and you watch it happen in real time. That's a cool thing to me. Unfortunately, this game didn't catch on. I think it should have just been a Switch exclusive. It would have done a lot better. I just want the R-Wing, Nia. If you really want this, you can get this. You can buy the game in box for, it used to be $10, but I think it's back up to $20. But you can get the whole thing $20 with the game in box, brand new, R-Wing and a couple accessories with. You can't see Fox. He's in there, right? Yeah. Let's see if I can take it off without. Oh, there he goes. All right. And so the Fox character there you go, comes with it, and you get a couple of weapons, and I think all this stuff is pretty cheap. Maybe the ships are still somewhat up there because it's getting rarer now, but I have all the ones I want, and I'm good on that. I'll put that back in there. All right. And yeah, you can get it all. Most of it you can get real cheap now, so get it now if you can afford to do so. now is the time because it's only going to get way more expensive after a while. So there. And yeah, these R-Wings are great, you know. Very cool. All right, so that's it. Let's toss that back there. I also have the Breath of the Wild, what do you call it? I can't find it right now. The case. I'm going to keep this here. The case for, what is it called? The Sheikah Slate case. The one you got with the special edition. I bought it later because I couldn't secure myself a special edition at the time. So I missed out on that, but I at least got the Switch case, the Sheikah Slate one. It's around somewhere. I'm sure you've seen it in the video before. But let me get my Switch out of here before the battery dies. All right, so that's it for my accessories I'm going to show. There are more, but I've shown them in unboxings and other videos and stuff, so need to make room here. Split Pad Pro. Very cool if you can get that. They're like $50 right now, I think, which is the retail price, because it went up after a while. Like they didn't have stock, I guess, and so the price went up. You couldn't get one either. Are you talking about the you couldn't get one? You're talking about the Breath of the Wild special edition? Yeah. And I what I wanted most out of it was that statue for the sword statue, you know, the stand and whatnot. So, and that's way too expensive. I can't justify getting it, especially now. So, yeah. So let's get into games. I tried to compile these in a way from like least to best, but it's not really gonna turn out that way. But we'll go through it. Check it out. All right. So first up in my games list, let me see, make sure I didn't miss anything you guys are saying. I was gonna do a video on it. Says Jarion. They look super comfy. Yeah, they are super comfy. Yeah, I bought a pair of those after your video. Oh, so you bought the Jarion? You bought the Split Pad Pro after my video, and you said you're super satisfied. That's great. I wouldn't want to have you buy something and put my, you know, give it credibility, and then like, you know, you didn't like it. So I'm glad you like them because they are great. I have the game digitally. Oh, you're talking about Nia. You're talking about you have Starlink digitally. That's great. But you can get, like I said, just for $20. You know, I spent $80 on the game because I bought it when it came out standing. So, but you can get it now for like $10. Oh, Mackenzie, thank you for the $2 donation. Breath of the Wild is one of my lesser favorite Zeldas. I'm sorry. You don't have to be sorry about that. I love it. It's not my favorite. It's going to be hard to dethrone Ocarina of Time. And yes, I say Ocarina of Time, and a lot of people say Ocarina, and that's probably the proper way. But I always started calling it Ocarina, so it is what it is. But yeah, Breath of the Wild being one of your lesser favorites, I get it. There's a lot of things, you know, if you're not into like open world games, you know, and you like the more traditional Zelda stuff, it's missing a lot of that. I can totally understand. No problem there. So first game, like I was saying, it's gonna be tough. NBA 2K18. Very excited about this game when it came out. Very satisfied with it. It was very close to the other versions as far as visuals and whatnot, and it had everything that the other versions had. Link to the Past, your favorite, Nia? Totally. That was my favorite until Ocarina, and I still kind of go back and forth with those. So I preferred Horizon Zero Dawn over Breath of the Wild. Really? Like, I just watched Horizon Zero Dawn. I think I finished with about 58, level 58, and I went through the I completed, and I mean completed the DLC for it, and I pretty much got most of the stuff in the game. I think when I finished, it said I was 75% complete, and so yeah, I liked it a lot. You know, there were some things I didn't like about it, like the fact that you can barely jump or can't climb anything, and they give you all these areas that look like you can go up them, but you can't. Stuff like that, you know, annoyed me, but it's a good game. Yeah, NBA 2K18, nothing much to say about that. Flashback. This is part of the special edition. So I got this is just the regular case, but it came with a steelbook case. This is a throwback game, mid '90s, kind of puzzle platformer. Frustrated the hell out of a lot of people back then, maybe even today, but it's a lot easier to play because you can find, how to get through it. It's not that hard though. Really like it. Really kind of cyberpunkish. One of the first cyberpunkish game I really got into. So, yeah, Flashback special. Um, Octopath Traveler. Again, this is just the standard box, but I do have the special edition of this. So it came with the kind of fold out 3D panorama thing, and the special edition for this is amazing. If you wanted to get it and you didn't, I really feel sorry for you because it's awesome. Soundtrack, all that good stuff. Love this game. Also, rents this game as well. Uh, Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered. This is the definitive edition of this 360 game. I never played it on 360, so and it was pretty cheap. I think I got this for $25. So and it's a good game. It's really fun. It lends itself really well to my OCD, you know, because I tear everything down. Everything is like all the buildings and whatnot are destructible, so you can take you can tear a building down to its floor basically, and that kind of stuff. I love doing that stuff. So yeah. I preferred Horizon. Video game. I have Horizon Zero Dawn, and it's still in the plastic. Yeah, I mean, even when I started playing it, Nia, it took me a while to like really get into it, because I was like trying to ignore the game's mechanics and kind of play it hack and slashy. But eventually, those dinosaur machines, you're gonna be beating them with your stick. You gotta start learning how to trap them and all that stuff, and learning their weaknesses and all that stuff. But that's the cool part of that game, is the combat. The combat in the game is really cool. That's easily the best part of it. So, to me. All right, Katamari Damacy Reroll. This is a PlayStation 2 game that I had never bought back in the day. I used to hear about it all the time, especially if you were a G4 watcher. They loved this game. They would talk about this series all the time. And so I never really got into it. I feel like I played it at least once. A friend of mine had it, but I'd watch them play it for sure. But I don't know if I actually played it myself. But yeah, this is a really cool game. It's really fun. You just kind of roll around, build up your character just kind of collects stuff as it rolls around, and you throw that junk into the space and make a star out of it at the end. It's a strange, very Japanese game, but it's pretty cool, pretty fun. All right. Battle Chasers Night War. I must confess, I haven't played a whole lot of this game. I'm probably 10 hours in, but it's a really good, standard RPG. Nice visuals in this game. This is one of those THQ Nordic games that they brought over. And I'm glad THQ is supporting the Switch as well as it is. So it's one of the best third-party supporters of the Switch on there. So that's cool. Good game. And this game, everybody pronounces it differently. But I have my way. And for me, it's Cinemora EX. I just like how it sounds. It sounds way cooler as Cinemora to me. And this is a side-scrolling shooter with 3D-ish visuals. And it's tough. It's a tough game. But it's very interesting. Really nice, mature storyline. Good stuff. So I'd recommend it. It's, I don't know how much it costs again right now, but it shouldn't be that expensive. Battle Chasers are still on my backlogs as Trizzy. I still need to play that. Yeah, it's a good game though. It's on my log. It's not on the back anymore, but I don't play it nearly enough. This is one of my favorite games that nobody's heard of. Yonder. What's the subtitle? The Cloud Chaser Chronicles. This is a game that's kind of a loot ish kind of game. The thing about this game is there's no combat in this game. It's a big open world game, and it's kind of you collecting things and leveling up and trading and crafting and whatnot. Let me see if the back explains it better than I can, because it's hard to explain. Let's see, each location in Flora. It's talking about the location mostly. So it doesn't really talk about the gameplay on the back either. They didn't want to take a shot at it, but it's a really fun game if you know have a mind to play these types of games. Um, Games without combat. Oh, really? Nia knows what Yonder is. Cool, very cool. She loves it. Nice. And I like to buy. That's what I like to get on Switch is those kind of lesser known, especially like what do you call them? Indie games. Lesser known indie games. Like I wait and wait and wait and hope that an indie game comes out physically on Switch because I want the physical copy if I can get it, especially if it's an indie game because I know it's going to end up being rare. Not only that, but I just, I like to have physical copies. You guys know that. I talk about it all the time. So, the Game Master. Hey, T, how are you doing, bruh? I know you're doing your Nintendo Switch games. If you got Sega Astral and Saturn collection, do you want to sell it? No, not selling it. I actually think I think I have two copies of Astral. I have one complete, and I believe I have one just the disc. If I'm not mistaken, I have to look it up. But yes, Astral is amazing. Love that game. It's one of the best 2D platformers ever, visually, from a visual standpoint, for sure. Great game. Maybe I'll do that too. I mean, I want to do all my collection stuff, so maybe I'll do a video like this where I show my Sega Saturn collection and my GameCube collection and all that kind of. If you guys seem to like it, I'll see how you guys take it as far as your engagement in this video. All right. Here's another one of those games. This is originally a PS Vita game. Ease 8. Let's see if I can get closer and get a better look at it. Ease 8 Lacrimosa of Donna. That's how I pronounce it. I may pronounce it wrong, but I think it just flows. I like how it flows. Jarion got a head up. All right, man. Peace out. Thanks for joining. Nia says Yonder is Zelda's open world plus Minecraft plus Animal Crossing. Yeah, see that's that's hard to that's why it's hard to explain that game. But yeah, that's a pretty good way to explain it, Nia. So if you're into like Zelda and Minecraft and or Animal Crossing, I think you'll like Yonder, and it's gorgeous. But yeah, Ease 8 Lacrimosa Donna action RPG from the PS Vita brought over to the Switch, and I just learned this, but this game is pretty rare and it's getting up there in price. I've seen it 80, 90, $100, which kind of sucks, but I got this pretty full on. This is Falcom. I feel like this. Oh gosh, I just dropped something. Oh yeah, it's got trading cards. Let's see if I can reach. Yeah, comes with like a trading cards or whatnot, collector's cards. I like indie companies because they pack these things. Then it also has like a map. Is that a map? I don't even remember. Yeah, it's a map. And as you can see, you can flip. I already flipped it. This is the original side. I believe that's the original one. Yeah. And I'm using the other side for my cover. So it's a dual cover. So that's cool. And it comes with cards. I like when indie companies, they put their extra stuff in there. I like the little doodads and doohickeys added to my games and cases and stuff. So, yep. Lacrimosa of Donna. Pixel Junk Monsters 2. Love this game. Love it. This is a tower defense type of game. Very fun. Very cute as hell. I was a big fan of the first one on PSP. That's where I got it. And when they said this was coming to Switch, I was like, yes. Love this game. Love this series. This game is really good. I think I like this one better than the first one because the visuals in this are more 3D, or they're not more 3D. They are 3D, but you're from a panned out kind of view. But you can go all the way in, and you can get like behind your character and stuff. But that's not really a good way to see the world because you have monsters coming along, trying to kill your little clansmen, your little tribe, and you have to like destroy them before they get to your base. So love this game, love it to death. Love this series. You can get a look at it there. You'll if you watch my videos a lot, I'll at the end, for the end. What do they call it? The end slate, where you can put up videos and whatnot to recommend. I'll have I have a clip of this in a lot of those videos too, so you can get a look at it. But yeah, love this series. It's love the music. It's so good, very soothing and relaxing. Blazing Chrome. Blazing Chrome is Contra hardcore. This is the Contra game that Konami can no longer make. This thing is awesome. If you're a fan of any Contra game, but especially like Super Nintendo Contra, Super Contra, not Super Contra, what is it called on Super Nintendo? Alien Wars, and the Sega Saturn or Sega Genesis one, Contra Hardcore. This is the spiritual successor to both of those games. This is great. I'm surprised at how good this is. That they were able to mimic. The fans now are making better games because I'm sure these people grew up as fans of those games I just mentioned. The fans are making better games than the company, than Konami, because that garbage ass Contra game they came out with, overpriced with DLC garbage that they came out with for what do they call it? Contra whatever garbage. This blows that out of the water. Get this. If you have to get it digitally, do so. Or this is a limited run, so it's gonna be, sometimes limited run games aren't expensive on like eBay or something, Amazon, because maybe there's enough copies or they don't sell that well, or people just don't know about them. So this is a must-have for action shooter fans, especially of yesteryear. You got to have that. All right, Lego City Undercover. You guys know what this game is. This is one of the Wii U games I used to tout big time. The only thing I didn't like about this game is it came out like full price. Like I think it came out more expensive than the Wii U version was. So I waited. I got this for $30, and the main reason I got this because it added the co-op, and my daughter loves this game, so we play it co-op, and we have a blast. So. The Wii U version doesn't have co-op. I prefer the Wii U version if I'm playing single player, because the gamepad was built around it. But this version is really good, especially if you're going to do co-op with somebody else. A lot of fun. Too bad it's not online co-op, but very good game. Awesome game. One of the best Wii U games. Now, one of the best Switch games. Rhyme. I don't know why this game has such a bad rap. I think it had a lot to do with how it... Let me see, I'm blowing out here. Get closer there. Yeah, so I think it had a lot to do with how it came out buggy. Because for me, and this may be sacrilegious to a lot of people, I like this way better than Journey. And this is from the same people, I believe. It has that same kind of feel to it. But I love this game. And I got emotional at the end of this game. I know people say that about Journey. I didn't really do that with Journey. Maybe because I played this, I won't say first, but I got more into this than I got into Journey. So, love Rhyme. If you like action adventure games, there's not a lot of quote unquote action. This is more of a 3D open world-ish puzzle game. Love this game. Great music, great story. There's not a lot of story, but there's visual storytelling in these games, and it's great in this game. And once they pass it, because they did patch it for the Switch version, for every version, I believe, but it's great now. I mean, it still has a couple hiccups there and there, but it's a video game. They're not perfect. So, love the Lego City, says Video Game Her. Yes, great game. Great game. All right, and now everybody's favorite farming simulator. Now, I love these types of games. I don't buy them all that often, but once in a while I will get a simulator game of this ilk, and it's usually farming simulator. A lot of people don't know. I grew up in New York, but I grew up in upstate New York, and there's a lot of farms up there. I actually learned how to drive a tractor in high school for a class called Future Farmers of America, FFA, right? And if you watch Napoleon Dynamite, one of my favorite comedies ever, Napoleon and his friend Pedro are in FFA, Future Farmers of America, and they have that whole segment where they're tasting the milk and he's saying what's in it, or the cows got into an oil or not an oil, but an onion patch, or you can tell from that, pretty funny stuff. But that's what got me into this stuff because I learned how to drive stick on a tractor. Yeah, in high school for a high school group, a class FFA. So there's that city boy that was a farmer. All right, so Coda Princess. I like this game. I'm not like the hugest fan of it, but I do like it. I remember it came out for the 3DS. This is originally a 3DS game, and I never got around to buying it because I didn't want to download it. I wanted the copy of the game, and I just never got around to buying it. And I'm glad I didn't download it because now I have a physical copy on Switch, an HD version of it, and it's really good. Plays really well. And it's a side-scrolling kind of brawler-ish with RPG elements, but very cool. Glad to have this. And these are the types of games, like I said, that will be boosting up in price if you care about that. I really don't. I kind of like the idea of having rare games, but I buy games that I actually want to play. And this was one, so I have it. And there you go. This is a game I regretted buying. Has Been Heroes. It is a roguelite game. It came out. This is an exclusive GameStop game. This is funded by GameStop themselves. They wanted to get into video games, and this is not the game. I think people like it. I'm not a fan of roguelite, and I didn't realize that's what it was. And it became a genre that I was, everybody's familiar with now, but I don't think it was when this game first came out. So it's all right. I don't like the idea of dying and going all the way back. That's just not my thing. Bad Latency says side-scrolling beat 'em up JRPGs are kind of rare. Yeah, you're talking about Coda Princess. That's basically what that is. So I have it on PC, yet to play it. Napoleon Dynamite, I don't feel so well, says Mackenzie Peters. Yeah, I feel hot. Video gamer, I'm a Texan, and that's even too country for me. Yeah, that's pretty country for again a kid that grew up in New York State. People think of New York, they think of New York City. I grew up in 45 minutes northwest of New York City, so not too far, but far enough to get into farm country. And I'm not talking about Buffalo. Buffalo is way north, and that's country. But Buffalo actually is kind of urban, the city itself. But there is some country elements, obviously. But yeah, believe it or not, I was kind of a farm boy, and my dad was like the second hand man to the foreman on a farming company, and we moved up and down. I talked about this in my Labo video. We moved up and down the East Coast for during the season, as certain things would come into season, like peaches and oranges. So we'd be in Florida for oranges in the Florida for oranges in the spring. New York in the fall to winter for apples, and then over the summer we'd be in South Carolina for peaches and stuff. So, I didn't go every year. Sometimes I would stay with my grandmother and my mom would just went. But yeah, I was a little farm boy, believe it or not. All right, now Bendy and the Ink Machine. I haven't really touched this game, but I always heard really great things about it. It's like a first-person adventure horror-ish game. Has that kind of old steampunk Willy kind of visuals, which I love. That sepia-toned steampunk Willy. That's why I bought this game, and I'm sure I'll love it. I haven't really played it that much yet, so I think I looked at the title screen, and I never got into it. But I'm definitely gonna play this. This looks really interesting. If you know about it, let me know. All right, we're not even halfway through. Newbies Unbox Adventure. I have played this. Haven't gotten completely into it yet. I played it probably 3 hours of it, but it's just too cutesy looking for me not to touch it. It's a action platformer, puzzle platformer. Very cool physics mechanics and stuff like that. Very unique game, so I had to have it. And a lot of times, because Switch is region unlocked, so you can get any version. A lot of times you can get like the PAL version for cheaper, and it's the same game. You know, it's in English, and it's the same game. So, with some differences, some changes here and there for European sensibilities. So, but the same game, and this version was cheaper than the U.S. version, so I copped this one. I think I got it for like $15. So that's another thing about my Switch collection. A lot of these games are way cheap. At least when I bought them, they were very cheap. They may not be now, but yeah, they are. They were. Yoku's Island Express. This game is dope. Like this is like, how to explain this? This is another kind of platformers, but like this is like a pinball. It's like a platformer with pinball mechanics. Something like, I don't want to say it's like Kirby, the Kirby game on Wii U. What's it called? Kind of like the Tilt and Tumble type of game, but this game is cool. I like this game a lot, and like I said, I love these unique mechanics, kind of gameplay, indie stuff. Great stuff. Yoku's. If you're into that kind of stuff, definitely get this game. This is still pretty cheap for everything, I think. So, here's a game I barely touched, but I know I wanted to have it. I'm gonna play it at some point. Fire Emblem Warriors. What do I need to say about this? Muso, with Fire Emblem characters, just like Hyrule Warriors, but with Fire Emblem characters. So, yeah, there's that. And this is one of the first games I bought for my Switch. Super Bomberman R, probably overpriced, but it did really well. And so, even though it was overpriced at the time, I think it became worth the price I paid. I think it was $50. And I'm a big Bomberman fan. And they updated, they add all this free content to the game, and good on Konami. I think this game sold close to 1 million copies. It certainly sold over 500,000. I don't know if it's at 1 million or yet, not yet, but yeah, this is very cool, very good game. Maybe didn't start off that way. It had some kind of stability issues and stuff like that, but they fixed all that and added a lot of content to this game for free. Konami, so good on them for that. Next up, Ring Fit Adventure, a very sought after game right now, apparently. Very hard to find because of the ring. What do they call it? A ring con, because of that hardware. This game is, at least in Japan especially, but yeah, it's not really a game. Obviously, it's a fitness game, but it kind of has RPG elements and stuff. But you do exercises for your the combat. For your turn-based combat, you do exercises. Very very inventive, very cool idea. Definitely will get you working out and not even thinking that much about it, but you will feel it. You definitely will feel it. And they added some really good DLC, free DLC recently, with like the free run mode and like Dance Dance Revolution type stuff. Very cool. Very cool. And speaking of games on that kind of ilk, Nintendo Labo VR. This is Toy-Con 4. This is the one that had the VR stuff with the goggles and all the VR games. Very cool. My only problem with Labo VR is that it didn't come with like straps for the headset. Like it needs straps. Like it's hard to just hold that thing up to your head all the time. Some games it makes sense, and then they added stuff to like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey VR, and that stuff you need a headset for. It's really ridiculous. You're trying to play the game, holding it like this and playing with the controllers on the side. That's nonsense. Nintendo needs to get serious about VR, because I always said it. I said the Switch is a perfect Joy-Con or the perfect VR solution, because you don't have to buy anything extra other than like a strap, a headset, that you can sell for $10 to $20, because all the hardware is actually the Switch itself. Now they're gonna have to do a Switch Pro and get a 1080p screen, because that's certainly an issue, but not a big issue. I think for certain games it works just fine. But yeah, this is cool. I'm gonna go back and get the variety set because I want to get more of the Labo stuff because Labo's dope. That's a cool idea. Didn't probably set off the way Nintendo wanted it to, but maybe bootleg your own straps. Somebody actually tried to make one, but it's like you have to have. It just wasn't. It didn't sit right. It didn't fit right. Somebody made a plastic um, thing for your thing. But I should make it myself. I should totally do that. Get the dimensions right. Because the lenses are perfect. You guys just got to make sure they're the right distance from your face. So if you're building a plastic headset, and then you got to obviously put rubber in to make it not scratch your forehead. But I said I was going to do that, and I never got around to doing it. So I need to do that. But yeah, it's VR is dope. Skyrim, one of the first big ports to the Switch. Really good port. It's halfway in between the remastered. It's probably closer to remastered than it is halfway between, but love this. I mean, this is the third time I bought this game. Skyrim is dope. Issues and all. Great, big open world action RPG, first person. And it's great. I mean, what is there to say about Skyrim? You know what that is. South Park, The Fractured But Whole. Very good RPG, turn-based RPG built in the Star Fox world universe. I bought the 360 one, which was the Stick of Truth, and this is the sequel. I never got around to buying it on 360, so when they said the Switch version was coming, I was like, yeah, I'll just get that version, and here it is, and very cool, physical. And oh my goodness, the infamous, for Nintendo fans anyway, the infamous Hat in Time. Yep. Remember? Remember? Let's see. Bad Latency says there's a third-party strap and headset for Switch. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Bad Latency. That one didn't review very well, and so that's why I'd rather make my own instead of use that thing. It was kind of flimsy, but here we are with the Hat in Time. You Wii U hardcore fans out there, you know about Hat in Time. You remember this game was kickstarted with the Wii U stretch goals, and it met those stretch goals, and then they said no Wii U version for you. So they took our money and didn't make us a version of this game, and so that pissed off a lot of us because we helped to fund this game big time. And then like the guy, I don't know if he was the CEO of the company or whatever, but he just started talking smack, just talking all kind of junk to Nintendo fans. Let me see here. Yes, Nintendo. Yeah, but I'm gonna get to why I have this copy. I mean, I knew the game to be a good game, and it is a really good game. For you platformer fans, you 3D platformer fans like myself, this is a really good game. But I was not gonna give them my money. And I didn't. So I bought this used copy, and it's a good game. The Switch version, I probably wouldn't advise you to get the Switch version because visually there's some hiccups here and there, and all that stuff. But if you're gonna get it, maybe get it on another platform. But I vowed to not give them my money, and so I didn't. I bought this. Somebody else gave them the money, and I just bought that game. Because I would never. I'm on. They're worse than Capcom to me. The worst in. They're almost as bad as EA. Well, with the way the guy was talking about, Nintendo fans, how he was shitting on us. But they purged that guy from the Twitter, especially because they were coming out with a Switch version, and it's a good version. It's not great, but I wanted a physical copy, and this is the only physical copy out there, as far as I know. Right? Is there a physical copy for Xbox One and PS4? I don't know, but yeah. So he ain't gonna get my money. He talk smack to me, but I wanted a physical copy of this, so I got this one for used, and it wasn't even that much cheaper used. It was maybe $10 cheaper. Um, but I would have bought it for $2 cheaper, just because it was used. You're not getting my money after talking smack. But here we go. Moving on. Steam World Dig 2, great game. I would have paid full price for this game. This is fantastic. I loved Steam World Dig, and I bought it on 3DS. I downloaded it digitally. Then I ended up buying the dual pack on Wii U, which had Steam World Dig and Steam World Heist, because I wanted that physical copy. You know how I do. And then they announced they were coming out on the Switch with Steam World Dig 2, and I was like, yep. And this game is fantastic, even better than the first. Great game. I mean, what is there to say? How to explain it? It's a RPG where you dig underground. Doesn't sound like fun, but it is. And you just find loot and you upgrade your character, and it's just really, really polished, well done, great game. And I think everybody should have this game. So, all right. How do you make a game inspired by Nintendo and then shit on the fans about the game? Yes, I didn't even mention that, Nia. Thank you for saying that. This game is clearly inspired by let me get this right, like Mario Sunshine, with Wind Waker-ish type visuals. Clearly inspired by 3D platformers of that ilk, Nintendo fan platformers. It's clearly inspired by that. And to make a game like that and then fund it on the backs of Nintendo fans and then to just take a shit on us, that was just unbelievable. I don't know what's worse, that or the Project Cars debacle. I guess Project Cons, because we never got a game ever on any system. So maybe that's worse. I mean, we at least did get this. But I remember it said coming soon, and it took like a year. It said coming soon, and it was like a year before this game came out, or close to a year. Maybe it was like 10 months or something. That was hilarious. But oh, so you hate it? Then what? Hate what? Retro Death. What are you talking about? Digging is cathartic as fuck. This is Nia, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. Oh, boy. It is this song, this game. This song, I said. This game, the Project Cars things, was terrible. Yeah, it was awful. Project Cars is definitely worse, says Nia. You're probably right. It's probably worse. Bomb Chicken. Every time I look at this game cover, I always want to bomb chicken, bomb chicken. It makes me say that for some reason. I don't know. But this game is dope. Like this, I remember it was a Nindies presentation. I think they were still calling it Nindies then, where they showed this game. This is a puzzle platformer where you're a chicken that lays bombs. You can use them as platforms, or you can use them to open, sections up and go further in the game. And this is dope. This is a dope game, and this is the game that made me start really paying attention to limited run, because I want physical copies when I can get them, and even if I have to wait. But Bomb Chicken, man, Bomb Chicken is dope. Oh, Fly Girl, thank you for the $1.99 donation. I haven't seen you around in a while. Are you making videos? I'm sure I'm still subscribed to you, but yeah, it's nice to see you, and thanks for the $1.99 donation. Yeah, this game is dope. Dope game. Love it. Puzzle platformer, like I said, it has that Super Nintendo kind of feel to it, with a little bit more oomph, maybe a 32-bit kind of system. Good game. Love it to death. All right, and now we have another game that is this the third one I bought? Yeah, this is another game that I bought 3 times. For a minute, I thought that was Billy Hatcher. Billy Hatcher. If you know me, you know I love me some Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. But yeah, Darksiders War Mastered. I just visited her Animal Crossing town. Really? Oh, I got to do that. I didn't know you were playing Animal Crossing. Good to see you, Fly Girl, and thanks again. Yeah, you guys know what this is. Darksiders War Mastered. This is the remastered edition. Um, this is the third time I bought this game. Again, I bought it on 360. I bought it on Wii U when it came to Wii U, and here I am on the Switch. But yeah, this is a kind of more darker Zelda type of game. If you like Zelda like I do, this is like a third party's version of Zelda with like a more darker slant to it. This whole series is great. Like I love Darksiders 1, 2. I haven't played 3. I will say I haven't played 3 because it didn't look up to par for me. But I am getting what's the newest one, the kind of top down one that is in my to get list for Switch. But yeah, this is the one that started it all. So there's that. Here we go. Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. This is a remaster from the GameCube PS2 era. I never played this. Surprisingly, I never played this on GameCube. I remember it, but I never got around to buying it myself. And this is a really good platforming game. Not platformer. This is more of an action platformer. But it's really good. Really nice gameplay mechanics. And I remember watching somebody's video review of it. What's that kid's name? I can't remember. Nitro Rad. Nitro Rad did a review of the original version. I think he played. I think he played the PS2 version. I'm not sure. But so I know I'm going to be disappointed by the ending because I already seen. I think I will. But I heard, I know this is a really good game. I played it for a couple of hours. I haven't gotten into it yet, but definitely gonna get through this. Here's a game I regret buying. It came out at $40, and I don't regret that as much because I thought, this is the only physical copy of it. So again, I was into paying the Switch tax, and it did add more to it. It wasn't just it added like a different mode to it, Way of the Hadu or something like that. Wasn't great, but it was something they added to it, and I was fine with it. One of the early Switch games, but only because Capcom has so disappointed me on Switch that I wish I hadn't given them my money for this because I paid full price for this. But I haven't bought a Capcom game since this because they're disappointing me. But it's a cool game. There's nothing wrong with the game itself, but Capcom. Oh yeah, the Azure Striker Gunvolt pack. Love this game. This is one of the games I reluctantly downloaded on 3D or 3DS. Not because it's not a good game, but I hate downloading. I hate downloading really good games. That sounds weird, but I like to have the physical copy. But so when they came out and said, "Oh, we're doing a Striker pack. We're gonna give you the little kind of NES version of it. I forgot what it's called. Is it on here? Yeah, so it has Azure Striker Gunvolt pack. It brings Azure Striker Gunvolt, which is the game I did play on 3DS. Love that game. And Azure Striker Gunvolt 2, which I never played. And it does have the little... They're missing one. They're missing the little... That's also in here. But anyway, awesome pack. If you can get this... I don't know, again, I don't know what the cost of this stuff is, but I only paid between 25 and $30 for it. And because I'm on this stuff when they come out, I'm big into getting these when they come out. So if you wait too long, these things go up and up and up. The more rare they get. So yeah. But again, I love those indie games on my Switch. Let's see what we got here. You guys are talking a bit. Darksiders Genesis. Thank you, that game master. That's the one I was trying to remember. I love 3 myself. Great enemy design, addictive combat, cool story. Definitely get that. Says Retro Death. I love Sphinx on GameCube, except the game-breaking glitch. Oh yes, I did hear about the game-breaking glitch, and I'm gonna avoid that. Or I'm gonna try to remember to avoid that. Video Game Her. I knew that was a ripoff from Jump. She's talking about Street Fighter. Capcom literally only kept me for a while because of Monster Hunter. See, I didn't even get Monster Hunter because it's a 3DS game, and I was just tired of Capcom's ways. It doesn't make any sense for how popular the Switch is and how they seem to support Nintendo, but they haven't been on point for my taste. Just bringing a bunch of old games that don't move me. I know a lot of these news tubers get all excited about that stuff, but that doesn't move me. That you port some old game and then overcharge for it. Nah, I'm not feeling that. So, Lenny Wright, I actually enjoyed that version of Street Fighter 2. I did too. I do. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the game. I feel like I got my money's worth. Yeah, I'm not even complaining about the money part of it. Like some people say, you overpaid for that. That doesn't even bother me. Like it wasn't a big deal. I just don't like the fact how Capcom has treated Nintendo pretty much since that game. What, bruh? You don't have Mega Man 11? No, I don't have Mega Man 11. I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna get it used. But it's on my to get list. But I would never have bought it brand new. I don't care because Capcom. I have some Capcom videos. Just put Mizzah Tee and Capcom in if you want to see those. Put them in the search, and you'll see how I feel about Capcom. I have at least 3 videos. Aquamoto Racing. If you're a fan of Wave Race, this game ain't gonna do it. No, but it's a decent game. It is a good game. It doesn't have the physics of Wave Race. It tries to mimic those without actually having that physics engine. But it's good. It is a good game. I probably put 15 hours in this, playing all the different modes and stuff. And I want to go back and do some more. So it is a good game. This was way cheap as well. I probably paid $15 for this. So, I have all these Switch games, but I'm not spending crazy money like a lot of people may think I am. So, Switch can be cheap if you're paying attention. You can get a lot of cool stuff. Let's see. We need an update for Monster Hunter for Switch. We need a new game. I was told to not be upset about Monster Hunter Generations. Is that the one that's brought over from 3DS? To not be upset about that because Capcom was certainly making a ground up Monster Hunter game for the Switch. I was told that, and that was about 2.5 years ago. So yeah, and this is what Capcom's done since then. They just port stuff. They're just a port company, and they make money on the backs of Nintendo fans who are stupid enough to buy that stuff. No, I have those games on GameCube. I don't need to port them. I don't need to buy them for some pathetic, HD stretch. I don't need it. So, Nia says my Capcom videos are fire. Yeah, I go in on Capcom. But T, we are definitely still getting a Switch exclusive. Oh yeah, see, Retro Death knows what I'm talking about. I just said that before I even read his comment. I think he knows who I'm talking about as well. We're definitely getting a Switch exclusive Monster Hunter. Yeah, 2 years ago. So yeah, so there's that. Zeno, what's up? What's up? Glad you joined. Updated ground up Monster Hunter. Yeah, definitely. Says Nia. Yep. And here is another one of my favorite games in the collection because you don't see this game physical anywhere outside of Japan. And that is, you guys know what that is? It's in Japanese. It says Square Enix at the bottom. This is I Am Setsuna. And this is a really good traditional RPG from Square. And this is, I think it was a launch title, right? Launch title. I feel like it was at least launch in Japan or close to launch. And really good. The only physical version is the Japanese version. And it has English. So that's great. That's another good thing about the no region lock is that you can get a version of a game the language you don't know, but it has different language options. So you just put it in English, and you can play it beautifully that way as well. So I Am Setsuna. Happy to get this. I believe this is way expensive now, so I paid $30 for it from Japan. Maybe a little bit more. It was like 35 with the shipping and stuff, but I think this is like over $100 now, and that's not why I'm glad to. I'm glad to have it because I could buy it at a reasonable price, not because I plan on selling it. It adds value to my collection or anything like that. It's just a game I like, and I don't have to worry about finding a physical copy that's way overpriced now. So here's a game I bought reluctantly, but I, I was caught up and happy to see some major third-party stuff coming to Switch, and that is Wolfenstein 2. Good game. I like the game. I hate this and that ugly border. Let's see if you can see if I can get that in. It's hard to get in. It's too much. A lot of my lights in here are glaring. But yeah, force you to download part of the game. I hate that. Um, so that bothers me a lot. But what I'll do is I'll just get the physical version on 360, for $5 or $10, and so at least I'll have a physical version somewhere. But I wanted to play it on Switch, and it's really good port, and I love the fact that it has gyro controls in it. I'm a huge fan of gyro controls, gyro aiming, and this has it. So very cool. Another one of those games, those indie games that I waited around on a limited run to get physical, and that is River City Girls. This is the dope brawler. I was on a stream recently, Real Gamer podcast, and Alex swears that this game is better than Streets of Rage. He is lying. Don't listen to that. It's still a good brawler though. I feel like it's a little patty, but it's still good, still fun. I love this cover. Like, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's kind of a foil, kind of shiny cover, and I wonder if this is flippable. Not really, but check this out. Indie Game Company. Know what this is, guys? You recognize this? This is a manual, full color manual, and this is thick. You don't see this anymore. Big companies don't put these in anymore. They just quit. But here you go with indie companies putting in manuals, maps. Sometimes they'll even throw in the soundtrack, and that's great. I mean, that's just awesome that's happening. And this is one of the things I love about Switch. It has this little niche community that loves indie games, that loves physical copies, and loves all the little doodads and trinkets that come with games like I do. I'm obsessed with that stuff. So I like having my manuals. I like having all that. So let me see if I missed anything you guys are saying here. I tried to get that like 5 times, but I lost every auction. What game, Zeno? It was long. Oh, you're talking about? I think you're talking about I Am Setsuna. It was one of the 5 imported I Am Setsuna 2. The second I heard it had an English language option. It says retro. Yep. I remember you telling me about that retro. Certain Squared. What up? What up, Certain? Bad latency, and Square has actually been decent about support, unlike Crapcom. Yes, you're right. Square's support has been pretty good. They're also bringing old games, but they're bringing new games. So, and a lot more. So, I appreciate that way more. Rob, what's up? Ruler 2 up in here. All right. So, when's the GameCube collection stream coming? That will be coming. It seems that you guys like this so far. So, I'm looking at my GameCube stack right now, and maybe that'll be the next one. Because I got some cool GameCube games I want to show. Maybe I'll save that one. I think I want to do a Sega. I want to do back and forth. I want to do a Nintendo console, and then maybe like a Sega console, and then maybe a Nintendo console, and then maybe like a Sony console, something like that. I don't think my Sony stream will do as well, but we'll see. Streets of Rage 4 is too good, says Nia. Again, you're right. Streets of Rage 4 is dope. Let's see. Somebody's message was hell for review. Oh, that's retro. You cussing, man? Bomb Chicken, River City Girls. Write those into your will under my name. Don't you have Bomb Chicken, or do you not have the physical copy? Retro. for those games. Um, I'm looking at a fossil, but is it thick? It says retro. Colin McDaniels, what's up, Colin? I missed the limited run of Hotline Miami collection. Regret. Yeah, I missed that too. Um, but again, don't don't fret because it may show up on eBay at some time, at some point, and it might be at a decent price because I've seen games on there from limited run that just maybe aren't selling on eBay, and they start dropping that price. So just hang out, be patient, and you might get a good price on it later on. Because I've seen games that are come out wildly overpriced on eBay from limited run, and then they slowly go down, like a game you'll see later. I'll tell you about. I'll show you. Um, Speaking of Streets of Rage, I've been playing Streets of Rage 4 to death, says the Game Master. I'm about to be that way as well. I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn recently, so I haven't really played much else. And I bought Streets of Rage through Limited Run, so I don't have the physical yet, so that slowed me down. But I caved and I bought it digitally because I don't want to wait. And there's no telling when that thing's coming from Limited Run. That's the downside of Limited Run is that you don't know when you're going to get that physical copy. It, I've gotten games from Limited Run that surprised me. I was like, oh yeah, I did, I did buy that from Limited Run. I'm gonna talk months later. So, Rob says, nice, bring the cubeness. I will definitely do that for sure, Rob. Um, Retro Death, you look at your GameCube stack. How Robert looks at his TV. Yeah, it's literally up to the ceiling. It's maybe about 7 or 8 games from hitting the ceiling, but it's on the table. But yeah, because I don't want to put my stuff in a shelf because I don't want to have shelves all over the place because that breeds dust, and I don't I don't do well with dust. I'm so allergenic. I'm always sniffling and sneezing and whatnot. So, um, Retro Death. I had Bomb Chicken Digital. Physical came out much later, and my money was tight at the point. Yeah, I mean, I have done that. Like I just did that with Streets of Rage. And I wanted it physical, so I paid for it, and then I, go back and get the digital copy or physical copy. So, Rob says Streets of Rage 4 is so dope. My fiance and I are on the final boss. It's a bitch. LOL. Uh, Colin McDaniels. I waited this long for Streets of Rage sequel. I can't wait a few more. I can wait a few more months for the physical copy to show up. I thought so too, but I can't. Too many people are talking about it. By the time it comes, nobody's going to want to go through it with you as far as the co-op stuff. And I wanted to play co-op with people that are interested in it right now. So that's the reason I decided. And I just can't wait. Like, I've been waiting forever for Streets of Rage, Like, I went out and bought Fighting Force because I knew it was supposed to be Streets of Rage 4. And that's not a great game. But I needed that fix, so I need it. I waited almost 2 years for Dust and Elysian Tail, the limited run, because it was rating. It was in rating hell. Holy crap, that long! Wow. But you finally got it, and I'm sure you're very happy, Retro. So that's cool. Uh, Streets of Rage 4 is hard, is what you're saying, Nia. Um, Are you playing it on hard? Because I know there's different modes. Yeah, it is damn hard, which is what makes it good. Says Rob. Feels old school. I love that. I barely touched it at this point, like I said, because of um, I just I just got through Horizon Zero Dawn, and I mean I played the hell out of it. Like I played, I think I had 104 hours in it. I didn't realize that, so that means that's a good game, right? I put 104 hours in it, and I even started a new game plus, which new game plus is so much fun because you go back with your level and you go back with all your weapons. Most of them, if they're not related to the story. So I'm just like washing everything now, smashing everything. But tonight I'm getting into Streets of Rage 4. Retro Rob can say bitch, but I can't say or whatever comment was blocked. I can't control YouTube. Makes no sense to me. And it's definitely better co-op. Yeah, I mean that's how I used to play it. Me and my cousin we played through Streets of Rage 2 co-op like a billion times, and that's what I remember. So all right, one of my favorites. When this game came out and I was playing through it, I touted the hell out of it, and that is State of Mind from Daedalic. Love this game. This is what many would probably consider a walking simulator. This is very similar to something like, what's the game? Detroit Become Human. It actually is a kind of cyberpunk game as well. So it has a very distinct art style. This was made from a lot of industry veterans that came together with this studio here and made this game. It is really, really good. If you like those types of games, like a Heavy Rain, or stuff that's made by, what's that company called? I can't remember the name. David Cage is the guy who runs it, but I can't remember the name of the company. But if you like games by those people, State of Mind is dope. It's probably, to me, it's probably better. And again, it's not combat, but the story in this game is so good. Like I want a movie from this game, and it needs to happen. But when I was playing this game, if you were on my Twitter, you saw me sharing photos all the time and just talking about this game. I love it. I think I talked Nia into buying this game, State of Mind. Yeah. See, look, I just saw her comment. Quantic Dream. Thank you, Nia. I talked Nia into buying this game because I was touting it so much, and she thinks it's fire. So, I highly recommend it. I don't know if you can find a physical. Again, they didn't make a U.S. version, a North American physical copy, so I had to get the PAL copy. But again, it's in English. It's the same game. So, and this was a pretty high priced game when it came out. It was $50, I believe. So maybe 40. Maybe it was 40. I can't remember, but I don't know what it is now. I'm sure you can get it way cheap if you download it. But great game. Love this game to death. And here's another game that I bought digitally first, but went back and got the physical copy. It was kind of messed up the way it worked, but I bought the special edition that came with the Sonic statue standing on top of a Sega Genesis, a full-size replica Sega Genesis, and you turn it on and it goes Sega. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I used to have it in the corner over here on the behind me, but you've seen that Sonic statue. So it came with that. It came with like a cartridge, a Sega Genesis cartridge replica that had like a strong ass real like gold ring. It was not really gold. It's gold in color. It's gold plated, but it came. It has a Sonic Mania cartridge that slides out, and you get that. So there's a lot of cool stuff that came with the original, but it didn't have a physical copy, and that one thing that bothered me. I wasn't too happy about that. So eventually they came out with a physical copy. I bought this. I think I paid like $25 for it. Nothing crazy. But I got this. That's $25 on top of buying the special edition, which was $60. But I don't regret any of that. Like I love my Sonic statue on top of the Sega Genesis, the original Sega Genesis design, and now I have a physical copy. This is the Plus version that adds 2 new characters and an encore mode. So very good if you're a Sonic fan. This is a game that I'm still trying to buy on Wii U. It is super, super priced. But this game is dope. I have not played this on Switch because I rinsed this again on Wii U. I played a digital version on Wii U. And then they said, they're going to come out with a physical copy. And, they kind of kept delaying it. So I stopped paying attention. But it finally came out, and it's like $100 on eBay right now for the physical Wii U version. This is significantly cheaper. I think you can probably find this from $30 to $40 physically still, and dope game. This is Super Metroid 2. This is by a guy who clearly loves Metroid, and decided he wanted to make his own game. This is a one-man show, and it's fantastic. I would have easily paid full price for this. But this was a $30 game, I think, and the physical was 40, and every penny. Again, this is not all that comes with it. This came in a box. This itself, this physical case was inside a box with a manual and like doodads, like art books and stuff like that. And so I was very happy to get this. And every version is like that. There's no special version. Every version comes with all those, all that good stuff. So make sure if you're gonna buy it, somebody didn't take that stuff out of the box and is just selling you this. But this is great. This is a great game. All right, we're halfway through, and here's another game that I bought. Actually, I did not buy this game. I got this game free because I bought the Switch version of what's that basketball game that was like, oh, everybody was like, oh, this like NBA, what is it? NBA Jam. What is the name of that game? I can't think of the name of it right now. I can't. I don't have a physical copy of it because it was digital only on Switch. Um, and then like 2K took it over, and now it's like NBA something 2K. Somebody please help me in the comment in the chat. I can't remember what it's called, but it came out janky basically, and I bought the game like day one, and it was really hard to like play online the basketball game online, and so this they gave me this game uh, digitally. Shaq Fu. Shaq Fu is surprisingly a good game. NBA Playgrounds. Thank you, Zeno. I knew somebody knew what I was talking about. NBA Playgrounds. So I bought NBA Playgrounds. It was jank, and then because I bought it, they gave me Shaq Fu digital. And so when Shaq Fu came out, I got a free code for it to download it digitally. But I really liked Shaq Fu. This is way better, and I mean way better than the original Super Nintendo Shaq Fu, which was trash. That game was garbage. This is really good. Way better than it should be, probably. So I liked it so much that I wanted a physical copy of it. So I bought it. And you know how much I paid for this? $12. I paid $11.80 something cent for this game. So again, you can find physical versions of stuff. Yeah, the Obama DLC. Thank you, Zeno. The Obama DLC is great, great. But yeah, $12 I paid for this. So that's it, and I have a physical copy, and that's great. Good side-scrolling beat 'em up. Aha! This game tricked me. This is trying 1 through 4, and I even went out before I realized it and said, "Oh, look, Capcom, these guys put 4 games on one cart." Well, actually, they only put 1 game on the cart. Trying 1 through 3 is digital, and so that was a little bit annoying. But I went back and bought Trine 1 through 3 because they do have it physically. So I went back and bought Trine 1 through 3 physically, and again, it was like $20. So Trine 4 is on the cartridge. Trine 1 through 3 is digital. You know what I did? I took the digital code out of here and I sold it, and it covered the cost, most of the cost for Trine 1 through 3 physical. So there you go. Yeah, that code doesn't work anymore, so don't even try it. That's the download code for Trine 1 through 3. If you want to try, trust me, it doesn't work. I sold it. And then it comes with, doodads and doohickeys. But yeah, very good, very good collection. I started playing Trine on Wii U because Trine 2 came out on Wii U, and then they later went back and put 1 on there, and 3 came out later. So on Switch, and then 4. So really good. Let's see. Give me 1 second, and I'll be right All right, I'm back. Sorry, the wife was showing me some school pictures of my daughter, and they came out excellent, and they never do. So we were both very surprised by that. But yeah, that's good. All right, let's see what you guys are talking here. I think I covered everything you said. I always liked the original fighting game, and will always defend it. Legit cool. Of course, retro likes. Of course, retro likes the terrible, terrible Shaq Fu. Of course you do. Of course, it only makes sense. Trine is great co-op. Yes, another great co-op game is Trine. Thank you, Neo, for reminding me. Um, that's why I bought Trine 4 by itself, physical, not in that combo pack. But I don't regret it. I don't regret buying the combo pack because, again, I took the. It wasn't like it was super expensive. I bought Trine 4 for like $35, and then I sold the, the physical or the digital download on eBay for $18, and then I bought Trine 1 through 3 physically for $25. So it worked out pretty well. But yeah, let's move on. Oh, here's one of my faves. Runner 3. This game, super underrated, really good. You guys talk about hard, and you like hard games. It's very old school. This game is hard, but it's good hard. You don't get upset. I don't think. If you mess up, it's because you messed up. It's not because it did something cheap to you. This game is very fair, but it is tough. And I love the Runner series. I started playing Runner on Wii, so and Runner 2 on Wii U. Love that game, and I was very excited when they said they were making a Runner 3 exclusive. I don't care about it being exclusive, but a Runner 3 for Switch, and the visuals are very gorgeous in this game. Gorgeous visuals. I don't know why not more fans don't talk about this game. I guess I'm guilty of that too. But this is a really good action platformer, skill based game, and I highly recommend this game. So Runner 3, and I'm sure it's super cheap to find because I don't think it sold well. Nia says Runner 2 is Fuego, and it is Fuego. And so is this. This game is just as good as Runner 2. All right? And this game needs no introduction. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is the only port. I mean, I guess if you can count like Lego City Undercover, but this is the only Wii U port I have, and I only felt justified in getting this because they did actually do some stuff to the balancing of the game. They added another. They gave you an extra item to use, like the previous Mario games gave you, and they gave you a real battle mode, offline and online. And that's what I really wanted. That garbage battle mode they had for the original sucked. And this is the one you want. And there's some thought put into it. And this came with all the DLC, which is great, but I already had all the DLC, and it was super cheap on Wii U. I think it was like, $10 per pack, and you got so much stuff for that $10, $11 or something like that. But this is, there's no surprise why this game is selling so well. First of all, if you've never played Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, and you just got this version, you got so much crap. This is a package right here. So for me, I could justify this because it comes with all the DLC. It comes with new battle mode. I went over it in the video because somebody tried to challenge me on, oh, you bought that Wii U port. So I broke it down to how much stuff this game actually adds, and on top of that, I didn't pay full price. I paid like $48 for it. So because I got a discount. So, but this is the only one I have. And it's the only one I'm ever gonna have. Because if I had this game on Wii U, if I have a game on Wii U and it works great on Wii U, I'm not gonna care to get it just to be able to play it portably. That's not enough of a reason for me. But again, a lot of people didn't buy Wii U, so I can understand why a game like this was so great. And Mario Kart 8 is probably the best Mario Kart game. If I'm being unbiased, because I would probably pick. I would probably pick Mario Kart DS was like my favorite for a long time, and it still probably is. Um, it's kind of like an Ocarina of Time thing, where I know that there's certain things that are better in the newer stuff, the graphics and all that stuff, but it just hit me at a time that was perfect, and it did so much, and it brought online to me big on the DS. I used to play Mario Kart DS huge online. I talked some that game. I probably sold for Nintendo 4 DSs because I talked people into buying it based on Mario Kart DS and the online functionality and stuff. So, but yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is deluxe. It's great. So, all right. So those are my most of my lesser knowns. There's still some in here in this group. We're a little bit over halfway through. I'm gonna take a sip. Zeno says Mario Kart 8 was my second most played game on Wii U, so I haven't been able to pull the trigger on Deluxe because I have limited funds and rather swing the cash for other games. Yeah, like that's another thing. I spent so much time. I probably have 300 hours plus in Mario Kart 8 on Wii U. That's a lot of people have way more than that, believe it or not. But I wanted that battle mode, so it came out early enough on Switch that I could justify it because there weren't a ton of games at the time. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll get that, and it looks so good visually. That game looked great on Wii U, and I was blown away how good it looked in portable mode. Gorgeous game. So now we're gonna move on to. I think these are my only sealed copies, and there's reasons for that. Reasons I've already gone over. You missing EA's FIFA? No, I'm not. Says the Game Master. Here's a game that I also highly recommend, and waiting on that sequel that should be out on all consoles, but it got swept up in Apple's purchasing exclusivity for it for a while. But I think it's over that exclusivity, and it's going to be coming to consoles pretty soon. But Oceanhorn is a great Zelda clone. It's basically, a top-down Zelda. Not, it's more like it's more like a Link's Awakening remaster, like the Switch version. It's more along that lines than it is like a traditional let's say Link to the Past Zelda. It has 3D visuals. I don't know if you can see it or not. You can see it there. That's pretty good. Yeah, it has 3D visuals, but it's like a top-down kind of angled top-down view, and really good Zelda clone. I mean, it's clearly a Zelda clone. I mean, look at that guy. He looks like Link, right? I mean, but it knows what it is. It's not trying to pretend it's doing something new, and it's really good at what it does. But I bought this game digitally early on for Switch, and then I saw that they were coming out with a physical copy. So that's how they got me to double dip because I wanted the physical copy. It's still sealed, obviously, because I have it physically on or have digitally on Switch. So for now, it is going to be sealed and stay sealed. And the next one is another game that the same circumstance happened, and that is Hover. Hover was supposed to be a Wii U game, but the Wii U kind of died quickly, so they moved their work over to the Switch, and I bought this game digitally, and this game excited me because it looked like Jet Set Radio type of visuals and style. You're on skates and whatnot, hover skates, and it's a really kind of I guess kind of kaleidoscope cyberpunk world, and very cool game. And indie company putting in this kind of work always excites me. Zeno says it looks like Link's long lost cousin named Lunk. He's talking about Oceanhorn. But yeah, this is cool. So I bought this physically or digitally, and then I found that I didn't know that physical copy was coming. It's not limited run. This is PM Studios, and there's a lot of little studios that also do physical copies outside of limited run. You have um, Microids. You have Super Rare is another bigger company. Super Rare is probably the second biggest company that does these physical copies of indie games. So Super Rare, and those games are actually more expensive to find on. I find like on the eBay or something. But yeah, so I have it digitally, so there's no reason at this point to go physical or to open that, I should say. And actually, this is not a game that is I have digitally, but I haven't got around to it yet, so that's why it's still sealed. But I will be playing it very soon, and that is Deadly Premonition Origins. This is the port from the 360, PS3. I think this is on both, right? And I always heard about this game. I never got around to playing it. And then when I heard that Nintendo had some exclusive stuff going on with Deadly Premonition and then Deadly Premonition 2, I was like, yeah, now's the time to check it out. So I got this, and I'm going to be playing this soon. It's going to be in my rotation. And then I'm going to check out, this is going to make me decide if I want to play Deadly Premonition 2. But I heard this is such a weird, crazy game, and it's like kind of polarizing. Some people love it, some people hate it. So we'll see what happens. All right. Let's see. Nia says she got Hover on PC, backed them on Kickstarter. Yeah, I remember that, actually. I remember you talking about that, backing them. Let's see. Certain Squared. Oh God, how I wish there was a Jet Set Radio 3. You and me both. Maybe someday. Who knows? Deadly Premonition was too spooky for you, Nia. That's my jam. Are you talking Hypnotoad? You talking about Deadly Premonition? Because I haven't gotten into it yet, so I'm looking forward to it. These next two games are new to me. I've actually almost beaten the first one, but these are ports or remasters from PS2 games, I believe, PS2 era, and they are Asterix and Obelix XXL2. This one is when I saw the package for this, I had to get it. Like I heard of Asterix and Obelix. I think it's like a long-running French cartoon or a series or something like that was turned into a video game. I'm a coward, says Nia. And so I heard about it. But in the States, we didn't know much about it. But I knew it was like an action kind of character driven game, not character driven, but like an action kind of cartoonish game. Not unlike, it's not a platformer, but this is one of those games they call platformers because it has cartoony characters that run around in the cartoon world. But I got this special edition version, and it came with like figurines, and it came with like 3 figurines, and it came with like doodads, me and my doodads. So I had to get it, and it was cheap. It was like $40, and it came in like a big box. I don't know if this is a flip case. No, but you get to see like the little cartoon character inside, Asterix and Obelix going at it, and this is a fun little, kind of third person kind of action beat 'em up. It's more of a beat 'em up game than anything because but there's some puzzle stuff too. There's a lot of puzzle elements, and it's fun. I like it, and so that talked me into getting 3. This one's 2, and this is 3, and so I got this. This one also came with figurines. It came with basically, but they were in different poses and stuff. So that justified that, and this one was actually cheaper. It was 30 something. So I got both of the games, and they came in like big boxes. Both of them came in big boxes, which I'm sure I unboxed when I got it. So I'm sure there's a video of me unboxing it. But yeah, it's cool little action, beat 'em up ish puzzle platformer games. So yeah. And then here's the game that needs no introduction. Second time I bought it, and that is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Love this game. Smashed this game on Xbox, and but I never played the DLC. I didn't pay extra for the DLC, and this is a complete edition, so it came with the DLC. So for me, that was a justification. And this game came out at 60, but I got it for 50 at Walmart because Walmart is still marking down new Switch games or new. I think maybe it's all games, but I pay mostly attention to the Switch games. Marking them down $10, and so I got this for 50, and that's great. And I'm gonna go through it again. I am going through it. I'm about 20 hours in, 25 hours in. And the cool thing now is they did the update so you can play. You can play. What is it? You can play. You can play the game with better visuals. They sharpen. You can change your sharpness and all kinds of stuff. It looks way better to play on TV now. I have no problem playing this on my TV now, the Switch version. And the other cool thing is that you can transfer your saves from your PC version. So I don't have the PC version, but this makes me want to get it because it's like, yeah, I'll just, when I want to play portably, I can just play portably and bring that save over to my PC version and vice versa. And so now I'm gonna get this game 3 times, but the PC version is way cheap, so I can get it for between I've seen it between $12 and $18. So that's great, and this is a great game. So Witcher 3, a great port. Let's see, it's not too scary, Nia. It's more like a kooky murder mystery. I think you're talking about Deadly Premonition, I'm guessing. Gotcha. She says, wanted to play Observer, but again, I'm a coward. Again, Nia, Observer is a great game, and in it's creepy, but it's not scary. Like there's no jump scares or anything like that. You see everything coming, and it's a detective story where you're figuring out a mystery, and it's not. There's not monsters or anything like that, but it's a cyberpunk kind of detective story, cyberpunk noir with some suspense horror elements. But yeah, dude, some parts of Metroid freak me out. Yeah, yeah, me too. I used to get freaked out early Metroid games, Super Nintendo one and the NES one. That eerie music and the isolation aspect to it. So, all right, where are we? Next game is Doom. This is another one of those games, those ports I was very excited about. I did not buy this game on any other console at the time, and when I heard it was coming to Switch, I was like, I'll wait for the Switch version. And I love this. This is a great port. It's not 60 frames. It's definitely not. It's 30 frames, but it feels fast. And that's what's great about it. It looks good, runs great, and love it. So I have yet to get Doom. What's the new one called? Starts with an E. Eternal. But I will be getting it. I think I'll be getting PC version or Xbox. I'll be getting the Xbox version because my Series X will, bring it to the future, in the future. So I'll be getting Doom Eternal on Xbox, and I'll also get the Switch version as well. Great game. Great game. And now, here's the game I was talking about that came out on limited run. And when it was on eBay afterwards, if you missed the limited run, it was super expensive. This game was like $100 and over on eBay if you missed the limited run, and I did because back then I wasn't paying attention to the limited run, and then so I had this game in my watch list for a couple years, maybe if not more. And I waited and waited and waited. The price went up, 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 up. Then it came down, 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 down. And I had the game digitally already. I already bought it digitally. But I wanted that physical copy because this is a 3D platformer, and I have to have a physical copy of a 3D platformer made by those Rare guys I loved back in the day. So I had to have it, and this got down to $43 on one auction, and I snatched it. And I think it's hovering around 55, 60 now, maybe 55 to 70. But I was happy. This is the first one. This ukulele. There's the other one that you'll see next, but this is the first one that didn't have a retail physical print, and Limited Run did one, and these are limited. These are limited copies. I wanted the whole setup. I should have just, did everything for the Kickstarter. I only got the digital version, so I did Kickstarter this. But I only got the digital version. So I should have went the whole route and did everything so I could get that N64 cartridge box and all that stuff. I should have done that, but I didn't. But I did find it later for a really decent price, so I got it. And it's great. And this is the one that's everywhere. It's not hard to find. It's probably $35 for physical. And I haven't really got into this yet. It's very similar to Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, but something makes me a little wary about this, which is the impossible lair at the end. The more you do in the game, the easier, quote unquote, easier the impossible lair is at the end, because you get basically things that are, similar to like extra lives. And so the more you play that part of the game, the more you play the game itself, the more easier the impossible layer is at the end, because it's like a super long level that you have to get through in one go. If you run out of lives, it's over. So that kind of makes me a little wary of this, but I know I'm gonna beat this. So because I like ukulele, I like these characters, and I like Platonic. So I'm looking forward to the next. I hope it's some spiritual successor to something like Jet Force Gemini. That's what I want them to make. I either want them to make that or a spiritual successor to like Perfect Dark. That's what I'm hoping they do next. So we'll see. Here's one of the disappointments. Kirby Star Allies. This game plays itself. If you let it. I love Kirby games. Love them to death. But this one is way too easy. This is not for a core Kirby fan, I don't think. And I wish they did more with this game as far as the difficulty levels and whatnot. But it's super easy. When you start getting allies, the game can literally play itself. You can just hold left, and your allies will take care of everything on the screen. So, disappointing. It's only 30 frames, which I don't get. This game should be a 60 frame per second game. I think pretty much every Kirby game is, except for maybe even N64 one was 60 frames. I don't know. But it's weird that this game is only 30 frames. And it's gorgeous. It looks really good. But it's lacking for sure. And my second disappointment is Yoshi's Crafted World. Mostly a beautiful game. It can get blurry. Like my camera is right now. It can get blurry in some instances. This is the game that Nintendo said they mastered Unreal Engine on. This is an Unreal Engine game. So a lot of those non-Nintendo fans who, Nintendo should use Unreal Engine, blah, blah, blah. They think Unreal Engine only makes realistic games. Fortnite is on Unreal Engine. So is this. I want to say, there's some other game I can't think of right now that's quote-unquote cartoony. But Unreal Engine is just what you do with it. So, they should make Mario. It should make these games in Unreal. It should make a Zelda in Unreal. That doesn't mean it's going to be realistic. You can make realistic games on the Switch with its graphics. I don't know why. So people say those things. It's just like, what are you talking about? This game doesn't hold a candle to Yoshi's Woolly World on Wii U. Woolly World smashes this game left and right. It's just a way better game, way more interesting, better music, better game design, level design. But this is all right. It's okay. It's just a disappointment coming off of Woolly World. This feels more like what's the Yoshi's Island 2. Really, that's what it feels like. It feels like, oh, Yoshi's Island, the original Super Mario World. I hate that they call it that. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Just call the game Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island, going from Yoshi's Island to Yoshi's Island 2 on the DS. I think it was DS. That's what this is like. The original is way better. The game that came before it is way better, and so is this. So, Woolly World was too good, says Video Game Her. Kirby needs to evolve. It does. Um, let's take Kirby into 3D, or at least give it some 3D elements, a la Donkey Kong Country. Um, but that's the thing too about Kirby is that the 3DS games are so much better. Kirby's Planet Robobot and Kirby. Oh my God, what's the other one? Before it, Kirby. I got Tilt and Tumble in my head for some reason. Uh, I I can't remember, but the two Kirby games, the two traditional side-scrolling Kirby games on 3DS, destroy Kirby Star Allies. It just destroys this game, and same thing with Yoshi's Woolly World or Yoshi's Crafted World. Woolly World destroys this, so it's not a bad game. It's just not what I feel like it should have been. And here is Metro Redux. This is the second time I bought this game, but the first time I bought it, I got like a plain case, but it's basically disc only. I bought it used at GameStop or something, and so it came in like a plain, knockoff case. So, but I liked it, and so I was happy that it was being ported to the Switch. And the cool thing about this is that when you put the cartridge in, both games are on the cart. By the way, there's no downloading. You got two full games on the cartridge, so it can be done. And you put it in, and on your screen, I'll show you actually. On your Wii U screen, or Wii U, on your Switch screen, you can see that. I'm just trying to make sure you can see it. So scroll over to the games, and as you can see, the games are there. Metro Last Light and Metro 2033. You put the cart in, and both of those icons pop up. So you can go into those games separately, like there are two different games. So that's cool. But they're not digitally. You have to have the cart in. You don't download anything. But you put the cart in, and those two icons pop up. And so you can play those games separately. You don't have to go into a menu on one system where it's like, do you want to play this game or that game? It just shows up as separate games on your icon. So I thought that was pretty cool. And there are other games that do that. I can't think of them right now. Trine does that. Trine does that as well. If you buy Trine 1 through 3, it pops up as the 3 different games. So that's cool. All right, Metro. Good games, by the way, Metro. Oh, this game. Nobody talks about this game. Or this series. Cube. I played Cube 1 on Wii U. It was digital only. And I love that game. It is a first-person puzzle game. Aesthetically, it looks like Portal. It has like Portal looks to it. It's different from Portal, but it looks like it could fit in that Portal kind of world. But very good game, very good. I loved it. I played the heck out of it on Wii U, the first one, and then I heard 2 was coming to Switch, but I didn't know it was going to be physical. So I actually had it. I feel like it was on Xbox, not the Game Pass, but the Games Live or Gold, Games for Gold, and I think I downloaded it there, and I played it a while. Maybe I got an hour into it. When I heard it was coming to Switch, I was like, physical, and I had to get it, and there it is, super rare. as you can see. Like Limited Run, they also put out indie games on physical, and this game is better than the first one. I love this game. If you're into puzzle games, which I am, it's a third person or first person. Let's see if you can see the screens here. There we go. It's a first person, puzzle game where you're like using color blocks and matching them up to get through. It's real good. Like I'm almost done with it. I think I have, and it's taken me 15 hours or so. This is an indie game, and it's 15 hours in. I'm towards the end. It's probably going to be 20 hours when I'm done with this game. So, very good. All right, one of my favorite surprises on Switch, Mario plus Rabbids. Now, this is a funny story because this is the deluxe version, the one that has the DLC for the Donkey Kong stuff. But I didn't buy that originally. I bought the the original one that came out, and I ended up selling that so I can get because I wanted this deluxe version. But here's the thing, it's the same damn game. Um, all the Donkey Kong stuff is still down. You still have to download it. So this came with a download code. Um, that's not in there, but this came with a download code, and you still have to download the Donkey Kong DLC. The only thing that changed is the cover for this. It's the exact same game, and so I regretted doing that. I wish I wouldn't have done it now, but for some reason this game is going for more money, used, even on eBay, because it's the deluxe version. Just because it's only because of this cover art. That's all it is. That's the only difference is the cover art. And here's the problem: when you buy this used, the code is probably used. Like, so you don't get the Donkey Kong stuff, and that's what I learned. The code in here was not usable, so I got nothing. All I got was a upgraded cover art that says it's deluxe, but there's no. The cart is the same as the original cart, and you don't get anything new. All you get is a digital code. The cartridge is still in here, but I'm saying for the DLC, it's not on the cart. That's what I was thinking. It's a download code, so that kind of pissed me off. That was a waste of money and time. So I ended up spending $10 more, and I got nothing out of it. I didn't even get the DLC. I still have to buy the DLC. So that's a little annoying. But now we move on to the stuff that I was really excited for Switch to get. Games like this, PC games coming to Switch. This is what I really like Switch doing. And I thought the market will be good for this. And I've been proven right. A lot of PC gamers love Switch. And it's cool that it gets older school PC games. I played this on PC. I played Siberia 1 on PC. Siberia 2, I actually played on Xbox. Siberia 2 is also on OG Xbox. So that's why I played Siberia 2. So when I saw that these games were coming, I only thought they were going to be digital. And there's way limited copies. I think North America does have limited copies, but there's more in the PAL region. So I got this, and it was pretty decent cheap. I know it was under $30. It was probably 27 or something like that. That I got 1 and 2 for. But I was really excited about Siberia 3 because that is a new game, and I also copped that. I knew that was coming to Switch, and this is also the PAL version. Because the PAL version is cheaper, because I guess they made more of them. So Siberia 3, I haven't played this yet. I'm going back through 1 and 2 again to familiarize myself with the game, to refamiliarize myself. But what's the gameplay like for Siberia? Siberia is basically a point and click adventure. Your viewing is kind of top down. It's a heavily story based game. You're figuring out mysteries. You're figuring out what happened to, like, this one. 1 and 2 are about, like, your boss. You work for this company, and you're trying to figure out because the lady died, and you're trying to figure out what's going to happen with her estate, and so there's that involved. But it's kind of like it's almost like a murder mystery. It's a point and click adventure. So if you're not into that, you're probably not going to like them. But you're not actually there's point and clicky stuff, but you do use your controller to walk and all that stuff. So it's not to that extent where you're using your click to walk, but you will use like cursors and whatnot to like go through drawers and stuff like that, figure out murder mystery type of stuff. So, but I love these games, and so when people talk about narrative based games on consoles and whatnot, and because a lot of people love Naughty Dog, oh they're great this and this and that, their narrative is so great. I'm like, I was getting big narratives on PC in the 90s, so welcome I guess, but that's why Naughty Dog doesn't blow me away, because their gameplay doesn't really hold me for one. Outside of Uncharted I find fun all the way through. But as far as like Last of Us, uh, people love that game series. Some Juice Terminator Juice loves that game, but I couldn't get into it because he really talked it up, and I wanted to try it. But he was the narrative, the narrative. But I'm like, I've seen way better narrative in video games. Like I'm not blown away by that. I guess if you're not used to that, if you didn't come up on PC games and whatnot, that's a big thing for you. But like I've been rocking huge narrative since like Myst on PC. So and I think those stories are told way better, and they're better stories than I got out Last of Us. So anyway, moving on. Daemon X Machina. Love this game. I love mechs. I love this game. And unfortunately, the publisher or whoever kind of ruined this game because they weren't allowing any kind of footage or anything to be shown. Um, they allowed it, but I think they demonetized those videos, or they took the money. So all the newstubers and the reviewers and whatnot were very upset by that. And it's their job, so I can't, hold that against them. It just didn't make any sense to why they were doing that to this game anyway. You want the game to sell, so don't mess with anything having to do with it. Don't mess with people who want to promote your game doing so. So I do believe that, I don't know what the Metacritic score is, but I think it's in the sevens or something. I do believe that the fact that people couldn't do that kind of stuff just soured them against this game, and they took points off because of that. Because the game is a good game, and that annoys me. But it is what it is. But you guys know I have the stupid edition where I spent like $150 on it. Stupid because I bought the PAL version. And yeah, so that controller, the Split Pad Pro, has this insignia on it. It has the, see that X? It came out with this game. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where did I put it? I don't know where I put it. Anyway, it's a Daemon X Machina controller. The Split Pad Pro is. So it has the X logo for your X button and stuff. So that's cool. And I showed you guys, I have this big statue that comes with it. The big mech statue. It has a big art book. It's glorious. Go check out my, if you want to see it, like me unbox it. I have an unboxing of it. This game is, that version is amazing. This is a really fun game. I still haven't beat it. I'm about 15 hours into it. I'm close, I think, to beating it. But good game. Just kind of underrated because of circumstances. Now, here's a game that should be sealed. I don't remember opening this. I bought this recently, and that is Wargroove. And I don't think I had any idea this was going to be a physical copy game. Now, if you don't know what type of game Wargroove is, this is a spiritual successor, spiritual sequel to the Advance Wars series on Game Boy Advance. There's Advance Wars on GameCube and Wii. And this is the spiritual successor to those games. And if you're a fan of Advance Wars, this is the game. This is the game to get. I haven't played this yet. I've seen reviews and whatnot, but I know what to expect because I'm an Advance Wars fan. So, looking forward to playing this. And if you want to see kind of the gameplay, Yeah, there's no gameplay. Maybe this is a flip. Yeah, this is a flip cover too. So um, I don't remember flipping it up. Look at all the stuff you get. Let me show you. So I'm not going to show you that digital code because that's the digital soundtrack because I haven't downloaded that yet. But you get the map. And let's open it up a little bit here. So you get this map. All right. Again, this is a indie game. This isn't even a limited run version. This is from Chucklefish. That's who published it. And you get a strategy manual, so it helps you. It's not just a regular manual. This is a strategy. Help you with your strategy. You get this little sticker card, so that's cool. And it's a reversible case, so there you can see the game. It looks very much like Advance Wars if you know Advance Wars. And it's a reversible case. I like this side. Now remember, I like this side better because I don't like that little border at the top that shows Deluxe Edition. And this is the Deluxe Edition. But I didn't see any other edition. So, I don't know. But yeah, so I flipped it because I like this side better. And I don't like that Deluxe Edition garbage at the top. Looks ugly. Looks like the you must download slab they put on those early Switch games. So yeah, very cool, and it's an indie game. So there you go. Nia has already played it, I guess. Wargroove is really good, she says. Cool. I still need to play that game, says Santiago. I want the controller, says Zeno. Are you talking about? What is it? The Split Pad Pro, like I have. That's what you're talking about. You want Zeno? Let's see. The Nintendo Shield tubers were so mad, says Alex. What's up, Alex? I talked about you earlier, and your hate for not hate, but how you feel about Streets of Rage 4. Let's see. I think that's everybody. Yeah, I talked about the Siberia gameplay. So yeah, moving on. We're getting to the end here. Next up, we got Crash Insane Trilogy. I have not played this a whole lot. I played about 5 or so hours of Crash Bandicoot on here. But the thing is, I played Crash Bandicoot 1 through 3 on PlayStation back in the day. I beat them all. And so, I don't have to run through these too quick. I know what they're about. I know where they're going. They improved. Obviously, the visuals are ground up. Great. Stuff like that. I just beat it again on stream, says Alex. Okay. But yeah, this is a really good, and it's all in the cartridge. It's all in the cart. And that's the reason I haven't gotten Spyro. It's because Spyro is not all there. And I already have the Spyro games on PlayStation, so I'm good. I need the games to be on the actual cart for me to care. So, but yeah, this is a really good collection. Nice price. And if you like Crash, these are the classic Crash games. They feel just like, with a little bit of nuance, they feel just like the original games. And that's great. So, yeah, Crash Trilogy. And I had been waiting for this game to come out on physical for so long that it came out physically and I didn't even know it. Hollow Knight. I hear too many great things about this game. I haven't gotten into it yet. As you can see, there's not a lot of games on Switch that I haven't played. Because I'm not one of those gamers that, that's why I don't like to call myself a collector. I'm a collector because I do have a lot of games, but I buy them to play them, not to display them. I buy them to play, not display. Oh, yeah. But yeah, Hollow Knight, I hear how great it is. I haven't gotten to this one yet, but I will this summer. So, yeah. Hollow Knight. Everspace. Everspace, Stellar Edition. This is a space shooter, obviously, with some RPG-like elements. If you give me a good-looking space shooter, I'm there. I love my space shooters. I go back to Atari, so you know that's why I'm a huge Star Fox fan because it's a space shooter, partially. So it's a visually nice looking game, and it is a indie game. And again, this is not limited run. This is Funbox Media, so you will have some indie games being put physically for physical copies, but by other people other than limited run. So you just gotta be paying attention. This was actually in the case at Walmart for 25, I think 25. So here's a game that also did not come out in North America physically, which annoys the hell out of me. I don't know why, but and it's also made by Capcom, and I'm sure you guys can tell what that is. And I love the artwork. So I love the Japanese artwork. I'm sure the North American one wouldn't look this good. It would probably look like the one I have on Wii. I have the Wii version of this game, which is probably the definitive version. But visually, well, I don't know. Maybe this is. I have not played this yet on Switch. I have played and beaten the original game on Wii. This was a PS2 game, but they ported it to Wii, and I played that version, and it's great because you get to use the Wii remote to draw. And if you know this game, that's a very cool mechanic. But I haven't played this yet, really, and I'm thinking portably this might be really cool too because you have the touchscreen. So this may end up feeling more definitive because it has a better visual and the sharper visuals, and it also has, the touchscreen drawing. So this might be the definitive version. But again, I couldn't buy this full price, Capcom, so I bought this used. I will not give Capcom my money at this point. They annoy the hell out of me with what they're doing on Switch. This is one of the things. They made this digital only, digital only in the U.S., but physical in Japan. So, but again, I like the artwork on this, so it's really nice. And again, you can just put it into English. You don't have to play it in Japanese. This does have the English option, so that made it a good import decision. Here's one of my favorite games on Switch. I don't really talk about that much, and it is a Switch exclusive, and that is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I love these games. I played them on Wii. I have 1 and 2, and 3 is great. It is really good. And the DLC for it is excellent. I don't have it all, but I have I forgot the Night Stalkers. What do they call that? The one with Blade and Morbius and stuff. Great stuff. I think they just released Fantastic Four. I don't have that. I will be getting that. But this is a great game. A great, beat 'em up game with Marvel characters. It's dope. And it's exclusive to the Switch. Get it. Here's a game I didn't play. It came out on 360 PS3, but I never bought it. It's a Capcom game, and it is Dragon's Dogma, and it is a huge game. Big open world-ish game. Skyrim meets something else. I haven't really gotten that much into this yet because I know it's big and I need to spend some time with it. And again, I didn't pay full price. I didn't pay retail price. I bought this used because Capcom is not getting my money. And but this is a fun game. I played it maybe 3 hours or so, and so I haven't really gotten into it yet. But I played it enough to know that I'm gonna like it a lot. So, Dragon's Dogma. I'm guessing some of these games you guys probably don't even know are on Switch. So there you go. God Eater 3. I bought this game because I was mad at Capcom for Monster Hunter, and this is a decent substitute. It's obviously not Monster Hunter, but it's similar in some ways. You guys probably know what the God Eater series is about. This is 3, and it was starting to get pricey. I thought maybe it went down. I don't know. So if you care about this, get it now, I guess, or put it in your thing and wait, and maybe it'll get cheap. Oh boy. Again, here's a game I demoed on Steam, I think it was Steam. that I thought was gorgeous and beautiful and awesome. It's a indie game, and I was like, this is a throwback kind of Super Nintendo game. In many ways, it just felt like something like you would play on Super Nintendo, a big third party platforming game, and this is great game. Um, you guys probably know about this, but it came out on Steam first. I think it's on all consoles right now, but I wanted that physical copy. I don't think it's physical on anything other than Switch. I could be wrong about that, but man, I had to get the physical copy and have it on Switch. Physical was great. So there's that. We're getting down to the end here. So a lot of these games you'll recognize. Poi. If you like Mario 64, you will like Poi. This is definitely, and there's some sunshiny elements in it too, but it's mostly Mario 64. I'm talking about move set and everything. This is Mario 64, but with different characters. Obviously, the worlds are different, stuff like that. But this definitely feels like a spiritual successor to Mario 64. If you can see the visuals there. Look at that. Look at that. Even that climbing. See that? He's climbing. That's Mario Sunshine climbing right there. So there you go. Really good game. And now, another game that I have digitally on Wii U, but came out physically on Switch, and that is Freedom Planet. And Freedom Planet is clearly if you play it, maybe not from looking at it, but it's clearly a Sonic the Hedgehog spiritual successor. It was a Sonic fan for sure who made this game, and the story behind it. Somebody made a documentary that's really good on YouTube about this game being made. Look it up. I don't know who it was exactly. I just can't. Luckily, came upon it someday, and I watched it, and it was really good. And it shows you like the love and the passion that this guy his team put into the first game. I think there's a sequel coming. If it's not already out, I don't know. Maybe it's already out, but this is great. This is a really good game. It's not fast like Sonic, but it's clearly has loop-de-loops and things like that. So it's clearly trying to mimic Sonic in some ways and character design and stuff like that. But really good game. I think it started off to be like a fan made, if I remember the documentary correctly, started off to be like a fan made Sonic game, but it became its own thing. And just the work that the passion, like I said, the time that those people put into this game is just awe-inspiring. So, love Freedom Planet. Really good. All right. Trash Bandicoot says Nia. Heard that a few times. I wish I could have my Switch games. I wish I could have as many Switch games as you have. I've been spending most of my money on physical PSVR. That is actually my next move. PSVR. I want to start grabbing those up because they're super cheap right now, especially, and a lot of them look really cool. And so I have them in my to get list, my wanted list. So PSVR is the next move for me. So I'll be getting those next. So you have something I don't have. I don't have PSVR yet, but I will be getting that. Let's see. Dauntless is better. Better than what? Monster Hunter? Silv3474. Never heard of Poi. I'll check it out. Yes. You like I said, if you like Mario 64, you like Sunshine, you will like Poi. It is a fan version of those games. So, and here we have Starlink, the game that I have roughly 100 hours in. And the failed game, I showed you my, I don't have them there in the couch back there. You can kind of see them. My ships from. If this game had came out in maybe 2016, I think it would have done a lot better, or at least better. 2015, but it just was too late for that Toys to Life stuff. And it's one thing to have people buy ships separately, but they were like selling pilots separately and then like guns separately. That was just too much. You should have certain ships that had certain weapons, that came with them. And it was just too convoluted, the setup or whatever. But I think they still could have weathered that if they had focused on one platform. They were focusing on all those different platforms. So I think that hurt their focus. I think that hurt how this game could have done. But if this was a Nintendo exclusive game, I think if they would have focused on the Switch, that would have helped them as well. And maybe cut back on some of the extra little doohickeys. There was too many doohickeys and doodads that came along with this game. You can play the game and beat it without buying all that stuff, but I'm sure you would feel like, oh, I missed out on this. I couldn't do that. I couldn't, because certain things needed a certain weapon that you had to shoot it with for it to open. Certain doors wouldn't open without the weapon. Very much like the what are those games called? Oh my god, the Skylander stuff, like the Skylanders. It's very much like that. If you play a Skylanders game and you don't have a certain character, you can't go a certain route. You just have to pass that route. You can still beat the game, but it just feels like you're missing something. And they know that. That's how they sell you all the different stuff. But we had moved on from that, and so this game was just 2-3 years too late for this model. But I love the game. Obviously, I put on 100 hours in. They had some really good free DLC that they added at the end to fans, which was great. I really appreciated that. So, and now, Dragon Marked for Death. Really good game. I haven't gotten into it too much, but I can already tell this game is dope. I remember seeing this in an indie presentation, getting really excited. And then I found that this game came physical. I was like, yeah, I had no idea it was going to be physical. And it was super cheap. And I got it on Amazon. It was like 15 bucks, I think. 20 bucks, somewhere around there. Again, a lot of these games are super cheap. And if you're paying attention. And so, yeah, dope game. Now we're going to get into, like I said, more games that you recognize. ARMS. Before I talk about ARMS, I'm going to answer Zeno's question. Do you have Ease 8 Lacrimosa Donna? I do. I showed that earlier, probably before you got here. And I know I talked about how, Zeno, I talked about how the game is expensive as hell now. I've seen it for 90 plus. That's not why I bought it. I bought it because it looked like a cool game from the PS Vita. So, but yeah, I do have Ease 8. I showed it earlier. I'd show it again, but I don't know where in this stack it is. But yeah, if you rewatch the stream or whatever, you'll see that. Video game Her Starlink should have been Star Fox, to be honest. You are correct. It should have just been a Star Fox game that Ubisoft made, and I think they would have brought back Star Fox in a big way. I would have still have wanted some other things in the game, like that, but it would have been stuff that they could have focused on with it being a Nintendo only game, like on foot stuff. Because if you play the game, those areas at the bases where you go inside the doors, you should be on foot for that, really. It's a little janky when you're flying your ship through those small little areas. That stuff you should be on foot for. They could have expanded that and put enemies in there and made it like, Contra style, behind the back kind of shooting segments would have been dope. Like, I have so many ideas for how they can expand Star Fox, and it's just, they haven't done anything, and it just annoys me. And it feels like they don't know what they can do. And I'm like, yo, I will consult you for free, Nintendo. If you need help on where to go with Star Fox, I will show you. Is that a rage face, Zeno, for me having Ease 8? The limited edition of Ease 8 is running upwards of $250. Whew. Yeah, I don't have that version. I just have the regular, game in the case version. But yeah, so I don't have that. But that's a lot. That's a lot of money. And that probably won't come down because they're not making any more of those. There could be a situation where they make more copies of Ease 8 just the standard, but that's not going to happen for the special or limited. But anyway, Arms. Everybody knows what Arms is. Um, really good game. Very polished. Just didn't have enough content to keep it going, I think. And uh, it needed to flesh out the characters a little bit more. And I think the fighting kind of gets old after a little bit because you're basically just punching and grabbing, and there's nuance to that, but maybe there's just not enough nuance. But I think Nintendo wanted this to be a tournament type of game, and it didn't really turn out to be that. But still a good game though. Hopefully they do those things in part two, Arms two. Add those things, flesh it out a little bit more, and you'll have a really solid new brawler, new fighting game. And we all know what this is. Super Mario Maker 2 just got a really nice DLC drop, free DLC for the game. Maybe a little late as far as hype, but still really good stuff. Mario Maker. I always get really excited about Mario Maker. I got really excited about one, and I go in and making a level, and I never ever finish. But I enjoy everybody else's stuff for the most part, except for those crappy troll levels. I love the stuff that comes with it, the levels that come with it. This one has a story mode, so that's cool. But these are really awesome games, and I will make my world. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna say anything else. I will make my own Mario World game. You just wait. Wait. All right. So, Mackenzie Peters, I would love a sequel to Star Fox Adventures and Assault. I would love a sequel to Assault, not Star Fox Adventures though, unless they really flesh it out. Because I found it to be quite generic. Gorgeous game, but I found the level design, the combat, to be very generic and very Zelda knockoff ish, but not in a good way. The biggest mistake with Arms is the characters didn't feel different enough. They all had the same super. Yes, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, Nia. That's what the game needs. It needs more character in the characters. The characters have to be distinguished in certain ways. That one super for every character is kind of lame. Like, fighting games are all about having special, moves for characters, and it didn't have that. I think if it does that next time around, it'll be, make it real flashy and make it have its own thing. I think it'll be really good for that game to continue on. I want a Punch Out game that uses the Arms engine. I don't know if I want that. I do want a Punch Out game. I don't know if I needed to use the Arms engine. Maybe graphically, I guess that's what you're talking about. But Punch Out, yeah, that would be great. Let's see. Certain Squared, Open World is Breath of the Wildish, Star Fox, let go of the on-rail. No! Let go of the on-rails, limited gameplay style. I still defend Star Fox Zero's motion and dual screen controls, but the controls should be an option. Agreed. I am with you on Star Fox Zero. Not so much on Star Fox letting go of the on-rail stuff. Because like I just said, a section where you can have on-rail stuff is those little bunkers that they put in Starlink. Those would be a good section for that. There's nothing wrong with, I think, when you get into a battle or something like that, you can go on rails ish. I don't need to live. That's just my nostalgia, probably holding on to the on rail stuff. But some people don't like the all range mode stuff. I know a lot of Star Fox fans who don't like all range, which I think is weird because all range works really well in Star Fox. So I'm surprised by that. A lot of people want the on rails, but I can live without it if you add in these other things. But if you don't, then don't take that away either. But open world-ish where you're traveling to different planets. You can do so at will, like Starlink. You're solving conflicts. You're clearing enemies. yeah, I mean, to me, it doesn't seem like it's that hard to evolve Star Fox and keep it going. You already have cool vehicle ideas. You already have the you have the tank. You have so that adds to what you can do as far as level design. Um, you can have certain areas that are perfect for the tank. Um, what's this? There's this game on Dreamcast. I think it's called Arm something. It's a tank based game. It's a futuristic tank game, and there's like areas that the tank is really good at. You can go into with the tank and do certain things with. But there's also stuff flying and shooting you from the sky, which would be great to be able to get out your tank and get into an R wing and battle like that. The stuff that they were kind of doing with Assault. They were trying to do with Assault. They didn't quite do, but you can get out of your on foot into a tank, and then you can jump into your R wing for certain things. That's the kind of stuff that Star Fox need to evolve too. And for me, it's not that crazy or hard to figure out. And for you guys, you know what you want Star Fox as well. So I don't know why it's that hard. All right, next up, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. We all know it's great. There's nothing I can say about this game. It's dope. This is the game that brought back Banjo Kazooie. That's all that needs to be said. It's an amazing fighting game. It's great. It's the epitome of Smash, and I love it to death. Let's see. I liked how Starhawk did it on PS3. Yeah, Starhawk. Starhawk was good. It's another underrated game. I don't know why that game didn't catch on. But that series has been around a while though. Since PS1, I believe. Obviously, it's different, but it's been around that long. So, really, do I need to tell you? Do I need to say anything? Everybody's loving this game, going crazy about this game right now. This game has got celebrities doing cool things. It's got, people putting in hundreds of hours into. It's got Nintendo trying to, explain how they had all these restrictions on the game, yet people are still time warping and time jumping all over the place. So not putting it in the cloud doesn't make any sense. Not giving me a cloud save because you stop nothing by doing that. You stop nothing by excluding cloud saves. Put cloud saves in this game because it's over and people have done what they wanted to do. So stop with the crap and give me cloud saves so I don't have to worry about my hundreds of hours, disappearing at some point. But yeah, Animal Crossing, New Horizons, greatness. So makes you wonder why EA hasn't put Sims on Switch. I bet they're sitting around slapping themselves right now. And maybe I'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, Splatoon 2. Great game. I wanted that side-scrolling part that they showed for Splatoon 1. Never put in it. I thought we were going to get it in 2, but that never happened. So I guess they just forgot about it. But, yeah. Splatoon 2, it's great. Love it. I love the aesthetic. I love the art style. I love everything about this game. This is one of the... I don't get into shooters a whole lot. And this is one that I really got into. And I really love. And I go back to every once in a while. Still love it. And they're a new Splatfest this month, I believe, right? Out of nowhere. Ketchup and mayo again. How cool is that? From Wii U. Great. So... All right. Man, come on. Come on. Astral Chain. Astral Chain is off the chain. Astral Chain is dope. Video Game Her says she has 500 hours in Animal Crossing. Whoa. I think I'm barely at 100, but I don't play it as much. Because, like I said, I've been playing Horizon a lot. So, but yeah, Astral Chain is dope. This is one of the best looking platinum games. I wish it wasn't so limiting because it makes me on it. I want it to be an open world game, at least open-ish, more open than it is. But great combat, great game, beautiful, beautiful, love it. Music, great art style, great. Ah man, that tech demo from GameCube has come a long way. Luigi's Mansion 3. Boy. See, I bought a Luigi's Mansion on GameCube. It was one of the first games I bought during launch. I bought Luigi's Mansion. I bought Madden 02. I bought Rogue Leader. a Rogue Squadron 2, and I bought Super Monkey Ball. Those were my day one games, and I was very, I liked Luigi's Mansion on GameCube a lot, but it came and went so fast. It's like a 5 6 hour game, and I didn't like that. And it's gorgeous, gorgeous game. Even today, go look at the animation. Like when Luigi opens the doors, uh, and he's going into a new room. How beautifully animated that is! 60 frames per second on the GameCube back in 2001, and flawlessly, and it's gorgeous. But I was a way bigger fan of Luigi's Mansion uh, Dark Moon on 3DS. Loved that game. I loved it way more than Luigi's Mansion on GameCube. So I was hoping when they showed Luigi's Mansion 3, it would be more like Dark Moon. And it's somewhere in the middle, which is good. And this game is gorgeous. Gorgeous. And the gameplay is amazing. It's lovely. This is where Luigi's Mansion should have gone, and it went there, and I love it to death. This game is amazing. One of my favorites on Switch, hands down. Great, 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 great. All right. Let's see here. I read that. EA used to be one of my favorite companies during the GameCube days. Yes, Mackenzie. Exactly. Me too. And that's why I'm so hard on them, because I used to love EA games. Love them. Challenge everything. EA, it's in the game. I loved EA during the GameCube. And they've fallen so far off to me. Not because, sorry, my allergies are starting to bother me. Not only because they be playing games when it comes to Nintendo, messing around and whatnot, but also because they just don't make all the types of games that they used to make. They used to make so many types of games, and there wasn't all these issues, and there wasn't all this looting and trying to get your money and giving you partial games and all the stuff that goes on now. They've fallen off. They've been rated the worst game company or the worst company for years in a row and whatnot, and they don't seem to understand why. It's pretty obvious if you step outside yourself and take a look. But I'm gonna talk about them in a little bit. Hopefully, I have time at the end. I only have two more games left here, so come on, man! Breath of the Wild. Love this game. I have about, like I said, 250 hours or so in it. I need to do Master Mode, and I will do that before Breath of the Wild 2 comes. But I got all the shrines. I did not cheat. I wanted to, but I did not cheat. I just fought through it, and I found them all. Some people had, less struggle than I had finding all the shrines. But you get a nice little prize at the end. I went through the DLC. Had a great time with that. More the Champions Ballad than the first DLC, which upgrades your sword. But it's great. What else there to say about this game? It is great. I'm glad they evolved Zelda. They needed to do so, but they also need to go back and bring back some of the stuff that longtime Zelda fans love, like dungeons and underwater swimming, and hopefully some cave diving and going into caves and whatnot. But and more varied bosses, which would come with having dungeons. So this game is not perfect, but it is a 10. If that makes any sense. It is. It's great at everything it does. So, and everything it tries to do. So wonderful game. What else is there to say? This is the first game we all probably popped in to our Switches when we first got it. If you were a day oneer, so great, great, great game. And we go from that to probably my favorite game on Switch, and that is Mario Odyssey. This game literally brought tears to my eyes. This game brought me back to Mario 64. It brought me back to the arcades and Donkey Kong. This game is a love letter to the Nintendo fan, to the Mario platforming fan. It is great. And this is Nintendo at its best. Mario Odyssey, Legend of Zelda. So that's why coming out of 2017, having those be bookends, having Zelda at launch and then Mario be the big holiday game, the sky was the limit for Switch. And I got really excited. I'm like, if they're doing this year one, the Switch is going to be the greatest console of all time. And it's faltered in many extents from that, because 2018 was pretty abysmal when it came to Nintendo games. More third party showed up, which is great, and I got into the those. But those are games. I have other consoles, so I'm not used to. It's not like I'm not used to third party. But if if you're a Nintendo only gamer, 2018 maybe didn't suck as bad as it sucked for me, because all we really got was, for me, was Smash at the end of the year. You had Wii U ports, which are games I already have, but I'm not gonna rebuy, and then you had Mario Tennis, I think, came out in the summer. That was a disappointment to me, and then at the end of the year you got the GOAT Smash. But this year was the year I was like, Nintendo is gonna just take everything over. When they came out with this, like 2017, Switch is not, just like Video Game Her is saying, Nia is saying, Switch has not lived up to 2017, the potential, sadly. And I think, with Corona this year, maybe it's been hampered. Maybe we'd have more at this point, but I'm not sure how much more. I'm still hoping that we get Odyssey 2 this year, because I don't think we're going to get Zelda this year. I think Zelda will probably be early next year. But hopefully Odyssey 2 is the surprise we get this year, because this game was ripe for DLC that it never got. It got really crappy DLC for this game. It was, I just love this game. It's great. It's Nintendo perfection. And yes, Nia, that New Dunk City segment, though, man, that's where I got teary-eyed, because it was beautiful. And I always loved that song, the Jump Up Superstar, and because you heard that early on, and just like how they promoted it, and having that trailer and that commercial basically with the song. This game, I mean, even the ending of the game is tear-inducing. And then when they introduced the Mario 64 world, that was tear-inducing. Like, that's hopefully that you don't feel like you're being spoiled, because if you haven't played this game by now, what the hell are you doing? Like, you got a Switch and you haven't played this? Are you insane? Like, but yeah, it's just great. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. This is perfection. This is perfection to me. This is a 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10. So, great game. But yeah, that's my collection thus far. I believe that was 82 games or so, and those aren't my digital. I'm not going to get into those because I didn't really set my setup here to show my digital, but I've showed them in a video. But so along with, some of these are physical games, obviously, but I have a lot of digital game. Not a lot. I have probably, because like I said, I don't like to buy digital too much. So I may have another 22 to 25 digital games. And some of those are duplicates from the physical games that I bought later. So I have over 100 games for my Switch at this point, and that's great. And 80% of those I've played a lot to a good amount. So just a few games that I haven't gotten in yet. So perfect aspects of old and new. Yes. Yeah. I think the announcements this year were probably kind of messed up. But I think they were probably planning to backload the year again. Yeah, I do too. Bad latency, which I don't like they've been doing. But maybe they just feel like that works for them, so they do it. But, if they listen to us, we don't like it. I think we'll get Galaxy 3, says Antonio. Maybe. That's very possible. But I think if I know Nintendo, they're going to want to use that engine again and it's probably just going to be easier for them to make Odyssey 2 than it is a Galaxy 3. Because I think they realize that fans love the open world Mario 3D stuff, and Galaxy is a little bit more structured. It's not a pure open world game the way Sunshine is and the way Mario 64 is, and we've been pining for that. So I think they realize that. So I think, and everybody loves the Cappy mechanic. So I think they're just going to keep going with that. The way they're doing Breath of the Wild too. So I love this collection stream. I hope you do more of these. I really want to check out your Sega stuff. Yes, I will definitely. Sega will definitely be my next one, and then I'll probably do GameCube after that. But and then N64. This could be fun. I could because I've done for N64. I've actually done standalone videos for that. I have a playlist if you want to go check out my N64 stuff. But I don't mind because I didn't really get to talk much about each game. I just kind of presented it and talked quickly about it because I didn't want to make the videos too long. So I can do that. But GameCube for sure, Dreamcast, Saturn. I won't do too much. I don't really have a lot of cartridge-based stuff anymore. I mean, I have cartridge-based systems, but I don't have a lot of games because those were the last systems that I would trade stuff for, I would sell stuff for. So I have to rebuild those libraries, and I haven't really done that yet. And a lot of those are expensive to rebuild, so that's another reason I haven't gotten into it. And it's just way easier to have digital emulated games for a lot of those things. The biggest problem is those systems don't hook up as easy. You have to buy converter on top of converter, so it's a little harder. But yeah, I'll definitely get into that. Zeno says Sunshine 2. He's messing with me because he knows how I feel about Sunshine. I don't hate Sunshine. Sunshine just is not as good as it should be. It's not. It didn't for me. It didn't lead up to the potential coming from Mario 64, where it should have been. And we know about how it was rushed a bit. We know about how it lost some worlds, the blue coins. I don't like the physics. I didn't care for Flood. I thought Flood was kind of janky. When it worked well, it worked great. It worked amazing, but I felt it was a little janky with the controls and whatnot. So I never loved it as much as I loved other 3D Mario games. So, but this was a fun stream, says Nia. Thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. I did want to talk about EA, but it's how long? How far are we? 3 hours? It didn't feel like it because I love my video games, man. I love games, so it's nothing for me to do this. Time just falls and flies and whatnot. But yeah, I was going to talk about EA. I'll quickly say because EA talked about they have several Switch games to be released this year, and I just think that's so hilarious because I think for me, from what I can surmise is that it's based on their investors saying, "What are you doing, guys? The Switch is the most popular console out there. We're going to be transitioning to new consoles, so those games are going to be a little bit harder to take off and sell really well, and so we need that stopgap between the new console and then maybe the first couple years." So people had worried about Switch not being able to compete with the new consoles. It won't have to, at least for another 2.5 years, because those systems install bases have to get up enough to where companies are all right, now we can focus more on this generation. I think for the next 2.5 years on Switch, you should be fine. And even after that, maybe even another year after that, Nintendo will still support it, and so will smaller other companies. So Switch could have a pretty decent life if you look at it like that. But companies are looking for a stopgap. That's what they were hoping the Wii U was going to be, but it wasn't because it didn't sell. But the Switch is selling, so and it sold really well already. So for that first 2 years of the new consoles, before those install bases get up, 20 million or so, 25, 30 million on those consoles, it's going to take that. Switch is going to be right there waiting with its 70 million plus install base to be like, all right, we can put some stuff over here now that we weren't paying attention to because we were focused on current gen. We were focused on PS4 and Xbox One. Now we can put some attention on Switch, and uh, the investors understand that, and so does EA. They don't want to, but that's why you're gonna get more EA games for the next couple years, at least on Switch, and maybe for years after that. Who knows if they do well? So it's a stopgap. Switch is a stopgap because there's gonna be some growing that has to be done on these next consoles on Xbox One and PS5 because people aren't gonna want to transition. They're not gonna see the benefit early on. Only the hardcore will jump in. Everybody else will be. I'm satisfied with my PS4. I'm satisfied with my Xbox One right now. I don't need a new console, especially on Xbox One where these games still work on my Xbox One. Why am I going to get a new system? Not so much on PS5, but again, if you guys don't remember, PS4 had nothing in the first couple years, first party wise, especially. Yeah, it launched with decent games, well, a decent game, and what's the game? I can't think of it. Second Son. What is it called? Infamous. Second Son. That was a good game, and that was pretty much it. Shadowfall, what was it? Killzone Shadowfall was trash, and it wasn't until like Bloodborne that was the first like big exclusive, and then it didn't start getting those exclusives didn't start hitting. And you see, here's the thing: you got what is it called? What is this? What's the samurai game coming out on PS4? You got that. What is and you have The Last of Us that's coming out on PS4 this year. So it's going to be some years until they have their next big exclusive ready. Maybe Horizon 2 will be ready closer to time, but that's a new IP that sold well. You're gonna have to convince those people to come back and buy a PS5 for that. Unless they're hardcore fans, they're probably not gonna do it. So you got Neo. That could be coming. Neo 2. No, not Neo. That's not the game I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one that's coming this year. SOCOM 2 was my favorite online game in the PS2 days. Yeah, SOCOM was huge in PS2. I played more on the PSP when it comes to SOCOM, but those games are good, really good. Sony's gonna have to be ready, and it's gonna take a couple years before they'll be ready for that. So, yeah, Ape Escape, Jumping Flash PS, Tsushima, Ghost of, is that what it's called? Ghost of, yeah, thank you, video gamer, Ghost of Tsushima, that game is coming out on PS4. That would be a really good PS5 launch game, but it's coming out on PS4. So it's going to take a couple of years for those guys who are dropping their big games right now to come out with something for PS5. So there's going to be a gap, 2.5 year gap or so before those games are ready that really start pushing those next consoles. So Switch is going to be in a great position. The position that Wii U could have been, Wii U could have been in had it done better in the market. It could have provided a stopgap from PS3 to 360 to PS4 and Xbox One. It could have provided a nice stopgap, and that's what it was positioned to do. But there was issues around some of how you had to develop for it and port to it, and there was issues as far as its selling. So, but the Switch doesn't have that problem. So the Switch is going to fare a lot better with those between gen games or cross-gen games. So they're gonna do great. But yeah, that's it for my stream here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It seems like you did. Got a lot of viewers. For at least uh, um, for my base anyway. But you guys were very active in the chat. I appreciate that. And yeah, I'll do this again for sure. I'll do one next week. Maybe I'll do it in the same. What's today? Wednesday. I'll do another one next Wednesday night. That one will be my Sega Saturn. I'm guessing that one will be less viewed because it's not. Obviously, I'm a Nintendo channel. You guys are more into my Nintendo content, which I understand. Um, but I'll do a GameCube one every other week, or GameCube. I'll do a Nintendo one every other week. So the week after, I'll do GameCube, and keep going because this is way easier than doing a video and editing and putting together, video footage of the games. I mean, I like doing that, but with the way YouTube works right now, that's a lot of work for not a lot of people watching. So I've said it 100 times. But anyway, thank you guys again for those of you who donated. Thank you very much. I believe it was Fly Girl and Mackenzie, if I'm not mistaken. Let me slide back and see. Yeah, Fly Girl and Mackenzie. Good. Thank you for joining. Thank you guys for rocking out the whole time, especially like you guys have been here the whole time, Nia and others. Well, we'll do this again. And thank you guys for watching and listening. And see you fools next time. All right, peace out.